a.m. when GBC News arrived at the centers, the candidates were already writing English Paper 2, being the first of the series of papers to write between today, Monday, July 8, and next Monday, July 15. While Center A has 265 registered candidates from 7 different schools, Center B, which is accommodating 3 schools, is expected to have 245 candidates. At the time of the visit, all the exam officials made up of supervisors and deputies as well as invigilators were at post, with police personnel also taking up post to provide security for the officials, candidates and property. It came to the fore that 4 of the expected candidates, made up of 2 each of boys and girls, were absent for the first paper. However, details of their schools and reasons for their inability to be present were not readily available. The supervisor, Madam Evelyn Annabelle, told GBC News that even though the start of the paper delayed, the atmosphere remained very conducive for the children to write the exams.
Usually when you are writing the exams for the first day, you sorting out students to get their seats, getting the answer booklet, the question paper, all on point before you start. So that's caused the delay. The candidates who came, their teachers are not here with us at all. We gave them a place to sit and they have not come, they have not interfered.
At the Asokwa Amekom Junior High School, it was learned that the WAEC recently accredited it to also host the BECE so as to reduce the traveling distance the candidate used to travel to sit for the papers. The center is hosting 206 candidates from 4 junior high schools, namely Ahinsan MA, Asokwa Amekom MA, All Saints Anglican and Temple International Junior High Schools. At the center, all the candidates were present at the time of our visit, with all the candidates writing the English Paper 2 without let or hindrance. At this center too, all the exam officials and security personnel were at post, ensuring the success of the BECE. The supervisor, Pastor Alexander Pia, commended the candidates for their high discipline and comportment so far and urged parents to encourage them to also show keen interest in their awards preparation for subsequent papers.
As we've started today, we're going to finish by God's grace on Friday, so they should continue to assist their candidate, their awards, to do revision when they come home for the next paper, so that at the end, flying colors will be their portion.
And back in the capital, let's do some crime now. The Ghana Police Service has declared 7 individuals wanted in connection with a violent attack and destruction of MPP properties at the Ayawase West Wogan office, the MPP, on Sunday, July 7. The chaos that erupted at the MPP office has left the community in shock, and the authorities scrambling to restore order. The suspects now on the run have been named by the police as follows: Alhaji Isa Kamara, Theophilus Kojo Bejra, Abdullahi Victoria, Neimatu Nadoli, Hope Ajra, Francis Agbesifunu, Thomas Hemelo, Christian Biakusi, and efforts are being intensified to apprehend these individuals. The police is working tirelessly around the clock to ensure that they are brought to justice. Now, the majority caucus in Parliament has defended Chief Justice's proposal to increase the number of Supreme Court judges to 20. Speaking to the media in Parliament yesterday, July 8, 2024, the majority leader, Mr. Alexander Apenyo-Makin, said the proposal is within the legal boundaries, and Chief Justice Gertrude Arbatokunu has earlier presented 5 judges to President Akufo-Addo for nomination to the Supreme Court, attributing this to a high volume of cases at the court. Following this proposal, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, has criticized this move, describing it as unlawful, but Majority Leader maintains that the proposal by the Chief Justice is right.
Some people are saying that the Chief Justice does not have such a mandate to do so. We disagree and would say that per Article 1254 of the Constitution, there are some inherent powers provided for in this provision that allows the Chief Justice, as a chief executive and head of the judiciary, to make such proposals. Quote, the Chief Justice shall, subject to this Constitution, be head of the judiciary and shall be responsible for the administration and supervision of the judiciary. When somebody is in charge of the management of a body, he is able to determine how to run the place efficiently, what would make the work of that institution be properly done, and to make proposals within the context of the law. The framers of our Constitution, in their wisdom, gave us a minimum ceiling. What did they anticipate? The anticipation was that there could be possibility in future to increase the number. That is why they did not provide for an upper ceiling. So if you read this and juxtapose it against the 125.4 that I earlier referred to, clearly you cannot argue that any increase in the number of judges at the Supreme Court above 10 is unconstitutional, or that the Chief Justice is wrong in making such a suggestion or proposal.
Away from Parliament, let's do elections. The Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufudampere, says the National Election Security Task Force, comprising all security agencies, have put in place necessary security arrangements to maintain law and order before, during and after the elections. At a brief meeting with the leadership of the EC in Accra, the IGP said the police service was ready to work in connection with the EC to actualize the said arrangements, and pledged the commitment of his administration to uphold its values and transparency of accountability in all its dealings. Now, the chairperson for the Electoral Commission, Madam Jean Mensah, took the opportunity to outline some activities ahead of the elections.
And also using this medium through your office and speaking to the good people of this country, to thank them so much for the support you have given to with the security agencies during this period. And of course, also to the EC, for us to work together in concert in the patriotic interests of our nation, Ghana, and ensuring that the processes towards the elections pass off peacefully. So we want to thank the good people of Ghana and all the other stakeholders to continue to support us in this regard, so that Ghana, our beloved country, will continue to be a beacon of hope for Africa and beyond. This is our country. This is the only one that
we've enjoyed a very fruitful collaboration, not only at the national level, but at the regional and district levels as well. And this culminated in the fairly peaceful, arrangements that we have witnessed over the last 2 months. As I said, starting from the registration exercise through to the application for the transfer of votes and the proxy voting and the special votes. I'd like to place on record that the mop-up voters registration exercise takes place from the 1st to the 3rd of August 2024, and it is to afford persons who turn 18 after the 29th of May, or persons who had not previously registered. It is to afford them the opportunity to get onto our register. Would also undertake the exhibition exercise, and that comes on from the 20th to the 27th of August. And this is it will take place in all 38,622 polling stations across the country from the 20th to the 27th of August. It's important to mention that from the 20th of August, we would also electronically put out some short codes to allow any interested citizen the opportunity to verify his or her registration details through their telephone.
As to politics now, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, says his call for change of government is not just a slogan, but a clarion call to the heart and soul of the nation. He says he has the experience to stabilize the economy and reset it on the path of growth and prosperity, having maneuvered the country out of a tough economic terrain before. Addressing the media in Accra, former President John Mahama urged the electorate to vote massively for the NDC on December 7.
Unlike any other candidate, I've navigated Ghana through tough economic waters before. My presidency was marked by significant infrastructure development, building economic buffers for inclusive growth while ensuring macroeconomic stability. I'll focus on revitalizing our economy for job creation through industrialization, enhancing agriculture, and ensuring the efficient use of our natural resources. My administration will introduce cross-cutting innovative policies that are inclusive, growth-oriented, and capable of restoring hope back to our youth. I wholeheartedly believe in a Ghana where every citizen, regardless of their background or gender, has equal opportunities to thrive. Under my leadership, social interventions and educational reforms will be strengthened. The vulnerable in our society will be protected and given the opportunity to change their circumstances. And let me add that gender equality will be a cardinal feature of the Mahama Jenano Opoku-Agyeman Flagstaff House. We'll lead an administration that promotes gender inclusivity in every government policy. And that is why we propose to establish a National Women's Bank to empower women to close the gender gap financially. 1 million women will benefit from the Women's Bank to finance their small and medium-scale businesses. To the youth of Ghana, I say, I understand your frustration and your disillusionment. Many of you are feeling very frustrated. The challenges of today might seem insurmountable, but I urge you to look beyond the present and dream with me of a reset Ghana, the Ghana we all want, where your talents and hard work will determine your success. This is not just a promise, it's a commitment. I will reset the economy and Ghana will be open for business for 24 hours a day.
Meanwhile, the NDC flag bearer, Mr. John Mahama, affirmed his commitment to the free senior high school policy and promised to improve upon it if he's elected again as president. Mr. Mahama once again debunked claims of being against the policy, insisting that he supports it and rather wants to improve it. Regarding the free SHS bill yet to be laid before Parliament, Mr. Mahama said he would support it if it aims to improve and sustain the policy.
I support any bill that will improve our education. 1, to make it sustainable. 2, to afford quality education for our children. And so any bill that would achieve this is something that I'll support. I haven't seen the bill, and I don't think that it has been subjected yet to stakeholder consultation. But we would want to see the bill. And I'm sure that when Cabinet has approved it, it will be laid in Parliament. And when it's laid in Parliament, as a parliamentarian, the normal action is to refer it to the committee responsible. And I'm hoping that when that bill is referred to the committee responsible, it will do the proper stakeholder consultation so that we all can be on board. Because if you're making fundamental changes to our educational system, I think that parents, teachers, and everybody who has a stake in education must be in. In 2015, I launched progressive free SHS. That's what the Constitution says. The only difference between us and MPP is the approach. We thought that we should put the infrastructure in place and we should do the necessary preparation to absorb the free SHS. And so we started with day students. We made it free for day students. And in the second year, we absorbed 120,000 students on the free SHS. Nanado himself lauded me. It's there in the media. Just, if I had my phone here, I would Google it. It's a Nanado lauds Mahama's free SHS. It's there. My position on free SHS is known. And so it's a political gimmick that is played by our opponents. Free SHS has come to stay.
And the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Mr. John Mahama, pledged to create more jobs in the digital sector if elected president. He announced that his administration aimed to generate 300,000 employment opportunities within the digital space. Mr. Mahama disclosed this when he addressed the media in Accra on Sunday.
We need to be young in mind and in spirit. And this is a fabulous time in history, a time which we must be bold, create, and take advantage of the huge opportunities the digital world, particularly the digital economy, affords us. And so based on this vision of a new, vibrant digital Ghana, the next NDC government under my administration will partner with local tech startups and businesses to launch a digital jobs initiative to create at least 300,000 skilled employment opportunities for the youth in this sector. And so imagine this, 300,000 employment opportunities for our young people. And this is the field that they not only love, but they often excel at. I look at my children, my nieces and my nephews, and I'm amazed at their digital skills, as I'm sure many parents in Ghana are. My dearest young Ghanaians, I stand by you 100% and I always will. When we talk about the digital revolution, we also need to talk about the digital divide, about those who are being left behind. On my watch, I'll do whatever it takes to provide universal access and bridge the digital divide in this country. We must close that digital gap. The NDC promised you this, and it was in our 2020 manifesto, that we shall train 1 million coding professionals in demand of digital skills for growth, business process outsourcing, and knowledge process outsourcing ecosystems, ensuring that no one is left behind in this digital revolution.
And the Member of Parliament for North Tongu, Mr. Samuel Kujeto-Ablakwa, says the people of Tongu will demand a comprehensive action plan from the Volta River Authority, VRA, as they prepare to spill excess water from the Akosombo Dam again. Speaking at the inauguration of the Tongu Chiefs Union, Mr. Ablakwa highlighted that the victims of last year's spillage have not fully recovered. He emphasized that the chiefs and people in the Tongu area will not allow another spillage without the VRA providing a proper action plan.
In September last year, the Volta River Authority spilled excess water from the Akosombo Dam, displacing thousands and destroying properties. This year, the country has experienced high levels of rainfall between May and June, increasing the water levels in the Akosombo Dam. The Volta River Authority has hinted at a possible spillage of excess water from the dam in a recent statement. Speaking at the inauguration of the Tongu Chiefs Union, the Member of Parliament for North Tongu, Mr. Samuel Kujeto-Ablakwa, stated that the government has not supported the affected persons from last year's spillage, as many still live in tents. Mr. Ablakwa stressed that the devastation suffered by the Tongu area following last year's spillage is not over, and another spillage without proper measures will not be accepted.
We want to use this opportunity to send a very clear message to the Volta River Authority that the disregard for our dignity, for our humanity, that occurred last year, we will not accept that this year, and we will not tolerate that this year.
The president of the Tongu Chiefs Union, Togbega Kaji Zoga, noted that the Tongu area has not seen any major development over the years. He added that the union will give the chiefs a strong voice to demand their share of developmental projects for their people.
We have decided to bring all Tongu states together so that when we are together and we ask for anything, especially from the government or from any institution, they will listen to us more.
The Tongu Chiefs Union comprises chiefs from all 13 paramountcies in the Tongu area and is expected to unite all chiefs in the Tongu traditional area.
Back to the capital, over 80% of licensed fishing companies have not declared their beneficial ownership. Additionally, 32% of these companies are linked to politically exposed persons, and over 80% have ties to Chinese ownership interests. These revelations highlight significant concerns about transparency and foreign influence in Ghana's fishing sector. This was disclosed at a meetup with coastal communities in Accra.
An investigation by iWatch Africa and the BECE Center has uncovered a complex network of politically exposed persons, PEPs, and potential foreign ownership within Ghana's fisheries sector. The report raises significant concerns about transparency, accountability, and potential conflicts of interest. The investigation revealed that none of the directors or shareholders from 25 companies examined declared their PEP status despite legal requirement. These findings come as Ghana continues its efforts to address illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing practices. The European Union issued a warning yellow card to Ghana in 2021 due to these concerns, addressing fishers, fishmongers, and coastal communities. A member of the Scientific and Technical Advice Committee to the Ministry of Fisheries and a senior lecturer at the Department of Marine and Fisheries Sciences at the University of Ghana, Dr. Angela Lamte, noted that only 41 out of the several vessels have complied with the regulations and had their licenses renewed.
We had 72 vessels at the time, as of last 2 years. And only 41 have complied to the ministerial directive and actually reduced their trawl net opening to 10 meters. EU also gave us the condition that those who have been fined previously and haven't paid their fines, but yet have had their licenses and permits renewed, what are we doing about it? Let's hold on to their permits and licenses until they settle the fines.
Mr. Philip Banini is the co-founder of iWatch.
From the investigations, we have realized that the politically exposed people are to declare their stance with the Registrar General, but they are not being enforced to do that, and they are also not doing it. And also, many of the Chinese ships, vessels we have on our waters are registered with Ghanaian names, but when you go offshore, you realize that it's Chinese that are operating these vessels from start to end.
A fisherman and the Greater Accra Regional Chairman for Small Pelagic Coal Management, Mr. Ruben Okansi, expressed concerns that the lack of transparency is negatively affecting local fishermen.
These subsidies are there. They are known facts. They are coming, but they are not getting to the rare fishers. And it is a very big worry.
Experts warn that this lack of transparency can hinder efforts to combat IUU fishing and ensure the sustainability of the fisheries sector.
Away from the fishing sector, the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association, GPMA, in a statement has informed all stakeholders and the general public that it will hold a fruitful discussion with government, on the issue of 5% excise tax on all locally manufactured plastic products. The Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Michael Ochiribefi, assured the association of triggering the necessary mechanisms to stop the implementation of the 5% excise tax. To this end, the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association, GPMA, has called off its intended demonstration that was scheduled for the 10th of July 2024 and put on hold the plan to shut down productions. Let's take it to the foreign front now. Nearly 1,000 homes in informal settlements in Cape Town, South Africa have been destroyed by gale force winds, displacing around 4,000 people as the city braces for a week of damaging storms. Cape Town and surrounding areas are expected to be hit by multiple cold fronts until at least Friday, bringing torrential rain, strong winds and flooding. A local aid organization has said it provided 10,000 meals and 3,000 blankets to displaced people in Kayelecha over the weekend. Other areas have been flooded and the weather has caused power outages in more than 30 suburbs, authorities have said. Cape Town is often hit by cold fronts from the Atlantic Ocean during its winter months in the middle of the year. They are especially damaging for the impoverished informal settlements. And West Africa's fractured regional bloc on Sunday urged Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye to engage with the three military-led member states to try to reunite the region, whose stability has been threatened since they decided to leave the group in January.
Summit in the Nigerian capital Abuja, the bloc known as Ecowas named Mr. Faye as its envoy to meet with Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso, which formed their separate union after their respective coups severed relations with their neighbors. The terms of the dialogue were not immediately specified. The Senegalese president, who became Africa's youngest leader after his election victory in March, the three countries affected by the coup had already declared at the summit the day before that they had irrevocably turned their back on ECOWAS. This is the first time in its nearly 50-year history that ECOWAS has lost members in this way. Apart from the economic projects that ECOWAS may have to suspend in the three countries if they do not return, their withdrawal could also affect their citizens. ECOWAS, as the main political and economic authority in West Africa, offers freedom of trade and visa-free movement within member states. The departure of the three ECOWAS countries could also affect their neighbors on different fronts. They all share borders and deadly security crises that are currently spreading across the region and against which the European Union is seeking to partner. Observers have also warned that coups in the countries could embolden other armies, particularly in countries where citizens have complained of not benefiting from their rich natural resources.
And it's time for us to bring you the weather updates for today. And Felicity Ahafionya, our chief meteorologist, joins us on the phone. Let's find out from her how the weather today will go. Good morning, Felicity. There's some dangerous and damaging winds in Cape Town in South Africa, displacing people. Hopefully that's not what we're experiencing in Ghana in the next 24 hours. But what will the weather look like across board?
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for always reaching out to us at Ghana Meteorological Agency Forecast Office. For today, Tuesday, the 9th of July 2024, we expect it to remain cloudy over the 16 region. Last night through this morning, we have a moderate rainstorm that moved over the northern sector and parts of the Trans-Pacific to leave cloudiness over these places. For Greater Accra Central Western region, we still expect us to experience some slight rain this morning. By afternoon, we expect to start to break through briefly, then the clouds will come back with the possibility of some light rain again or drizzle. For the fisher from today, Tuesday, they are not supposed to be on the sea. However, we are still expecting the state to be rough. So if any reason they have to be, then they need to be a bit careful. Volta Lake is pretty cool for fishing activities this morning. Up to the afternoon hours, where we are anticipating another moderate rainstorm, which is likely to move from our eastern borders into the country. Temperatures will be 30, 33 across the entire country. The storm I referenced will be monitoring and will be updating with our afternoon and evening forecast. And if they need be, we will release a weather warning when we realize that the intensity or the impact will be greater and it may cause damaging to properties and life.
Thank you so much, Felicity Yafi, and you're doing due diligence to the weather update for today. The sea remains rough. Be cautious out there. Let's bring you the Lotto numbers now coming up on your screen. For the Alpha Monday winning numbers are 78, 78, 68, 68, 31, 31, 18, 18, and 88, 0. Again, the Alpha Monday winning numbers are 78, 78, 68, 68, 31, 31, 18, 18, and 88, 0. I am Altiti Saida Sadiq. My costume is by No Rush Collection. There's more news when you do log on to our website at gbcghanaonline.com. Up next, we're going into our health clinic with Medi Moses, and Val will be sitting with the expert to discuss diabetes mellitus. Stay with us. I'll be back at 7 with sports.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Dinah Hamilton ushering us into the BFS clinic with her song, My Meditation. Indeed, it is a blessing to be alive, and so we are praising God. People, we are alive and active as well as the BFS across social media. You can find us at GTV Ghana. Use the hashtag GTV Breakfast. Also, a hashtag we are going to be introducing in a bit, Coffee Traffic. Hashtag Coffee Traffic. But we are stepping into the BFS clinic where we are going to be discussing a condition that in recent years has been on the rise. We call it a lifestyle condition. So we are talking diabetes, but Dr. Prince Osei from MediMoses is calling it diabetes mellitus. So we're going to find out all we need to know about diabetes mellitus with our guest, Dr. Prince Osei from MediMoses Clinic and Prostate Center, proud sponsors of the show, by the way. Welcome.
Thank you. Well,
so far, how's your week been? How was yesterday?
Normal, but we are on it.
Dr. Prince.
Yeah.
Diabetes mellitus.
Yeah.
Is it the same diabetes that we know?
Yeah, that's the same diabetes that we know.
So where's from this mellitus? Where's from the mellitus?
It's just to classify it. The other form of diabetes, we have insipidus and other forms.
Say that again.
Insipidus.
Okay.
Yeah, but the most common one that we know is the diabetes mellitus. Yeah.
Okay. So it is a lifestyle condition.
Yes. Yes. So
what causes it?
So basically, diabetes is just high blood sugar in your blood, like high blood sugar levels. So we are able to check the level of sugar in your blood, and when we talk about sugar, it's not just the white sugar that we know. Glucose, anything that contains glucose is sugar. So any starchy food, and in Ghana we consume a lot of starchy foods.
Yes, we love our carbs.
So any starchy food, all the carbs that we have ends up as glucose in your body. And when the main function of the glucose in your body is to give the cells energy.
Okay.
So the energy that we get to do our daily work and all that, is from the sugar that we consume. So any carbohydrate diet, any food that you eat ends up increasing your sugar levels. But then there is a system in your body that helps the sugar not to be within your blood. It should go within the cells to be able to perform its function.
What system is that?
Yeah, so we have the insulin.
Okay.
The pancreas produces insulin. So when you consume anything that contains sugar or anything that contains glucose, during digestion and all that, the body secretes the insulin. So the insulin takes away the glucose from your blood into the cells. So the insulin is like a vehicle that transports the sugar component of the food into the cells. Yeah, so if that system breaks or if there is any disruption in that system, it means that the sugar will remain in your blood. And when we check your blood, so most people, those who have done a blood sugar test will testify that we use the blood to check.
Yeah.
We prick the thumb or any of the fingers, the blood will come out. We use the machine to prick to check the level. So we are checking the level of the sugar in the blood. But the sugar shouldn't be within the blood. It should go within the cells so that it can perform its functions. Yeah, so either the body is not producing enough insulin or it doesn't produce the insulin at all. So that brings us to the types of the diabetes that we have. We have the type 1 diabetes, the type of the diabetes mellitus, let me put it that way, because I've already mentioned there are other forms of diabetes. But for the diabetes mellitus too, there are types. So the type 1, in the type 1 diabetes, the body is not making enough insulin. So that one is an insulin issue. So we call it insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, or the type 1 diabetes, or mostly juvenile diabetes. So mostly it happens in
type 1 or juvenile.
Yes, it happens in young ones and all that. For the type 1 diabetes, the body is not producing enough insulin. And as I mentioned, the insulin is the vehicle. So once the vehicle is not there, it means that the sugar wouldn't get to its destination. Yes. And there is type 2 diabetes. The type 2 diabetes is mostly adult onset.
Adult onset.
Adult onset, or non-insulin dependent. So that one doesn't really depend on the insulin. So with that one, the body produces the insulin. The insulin transports the sugar to the cells, but when it gets to the cells, the cell doesn't recognize the insulin. So it's like a key and lock system. It's like having a key to a lock. It opens it, but sometimes the key may get distracted and you put it in the lock, it wouldn't be able to open. So the sugar will get to the entrance of the cells, but the cell wouldn't be able to open up for the sugar to enter.
Okay.
So with this case, the insulin is there, it's transporting the sugar, but when it gets there, the cell doesn't recognize the insulin. It sees it as a foreign thing. Yeah, and there are so many things that can lead to that. We'll get to that in a bit. And also we have gestational diabetes. So that one is mostly, as the name implies, it happens in pregnant women. So when you're pregnant, there are a lot of hormonal changes and all that. And insulin too is a hormone. So once there is hormonal imbalance when you are pregnant and all that, it could affect the level of insulin that your body produces, because as I mentioned, the insulin is also a hormone. So once pregnancy sets in and there are so many hormonal imbalance and all that, it can also predispose you to having diabetes. Yeah, so those are the three major types of the diabetes mellitus that we have. We have the type 1, which is insulin dependent. That one, your body is not producing enough insulin to transport. So we don't have much of the vehicles to transport. So most of them will be left in your blood. So in Ghana here, you see we use a lot of Trotsky. So if there is shortage of Trotsky, it means that there will be more passengers by the roadside. So the same way, if there is no insulin, there will be more sugar in your bloodstream.
Okay, so Doc, pause on this. So if the body is producing low insulin, what happens to the body? What happens to the person who is producing low insulin? Give us a virtual picture.
Yeah, so for the symptoms of the diabetes, irrespective of the type, you get almost the same symptoms. Because the end result is the same. The end result is sugar is being left in the blood, and the end result is the same. So what most people experience is increased thirst. So there is a system in the blood that tries to correct the sugar that has been left in the blood by letting you consume more water. So you feel the thirst to consume, to dilute, in an attempt to dilute the sugar that has been concentrated in the blood. So you tend to consume more water, and the more you consume water too, you tend to pee a lot. So most people with diabetes, as they consume more water, they pee a lot. So those are some of the major symptoms that people will see: the increase in thirst and increase in urination. Those are the major ones. Apart from that, others too will experience sometimes you get confused, like confusion and all that, because when the sugar levels are high in the blood, it goes into the brain and it can cause all these forms of confusion and easily fatigue. You get tired easily because the cells are not getting the energy that they need. As I mentioned, the glucose is the energy and it's not getting into the cells. So it's as if you are weak, it's as if you've not eaten and all that. And sometimes you get unexplained weight loss. Yes, so there are some people, you see them, they are quite bulky, but when they get diabetes, they lose all the body fat. The reason being that since the body is not getting the glucose that it needs, it burns the fat. The fat is the next source of energy for the body. When there is no glucose, the body turns on fat. That's why when you are fasting, when you deprive yourself of food, you lose body fat. So the same way, when the body is not getting the glucose, though you are eating, the sugar is not getting into the blood. So in the body, it's as if you are not eating. So your body will start to depend on energy from the fats, and it will break down the fat to produce energy. But that is not a healthy form of energy. That's not the right source for the body to get energy. So it increases what we call ketones and other things in your body. So those are some of the things: the weight loss, the increased frequency in urination, the increased thirst and all that. But there are other associated: night sweats, numbness and all that. There are so many symptoms. People complain of different forms, but the major ones are the increased thirst and the increased frequency of urination.
So this is the first time I'm hearing of numbness when it comes to diabetes. So where would you normally feel the numbness?
Mostly in the extreme part of your body, so the fingertips, the legs. Actually, diabetes, we'll get to the complications, but since you've mentioned the numbness, let me touch on this. The three major forms of complications: we have the neuropathy, which mostly causes the numbness. We have the diabetic neuropathy.
Okay.
We have the diabetic nephropathy, which is a kidney-related issue. So the people with diabetes has a higher risk of getting kidney conditions. And we have the diabetes retinopathy. So that one affects the eye. So people with diabetes have blurred visions and all that because the blood vessels in your blood are so tiny and thin. When there is accumulation of blood, sometimes it can burst, it can prevent the sensory organs and all that from functioning. So people have those are the three major symptoms. So the neuropathy is one of the major symptoms that people with diabetes have. People come to the hospital and it's like they can't feel their feet.
Okay.
Yes, so if they are wearing slipper or something and it goes off, they can't feel that the sandals has gone off. Yes. Okay. Sometimes they get pricks in their legs, they can't feel it and all that. Yeah, so that is the neuropathy.
Right. Okay, Doc. So for you to report to the hospital with numbness, does it mean that the diabetes might have really escalated?
Sometimes,
or in the early stages.
It's in the early stages you may not have any of these symptoms that we are mentioning. That's why I always emphasize that we need to be doing regular checkups and all that. There are people who have pre-diabetes. That one, it means you haven't really had the diabetes, but your sensitivity to the insulin is reduced. So it means that you take foods that contains glucose, and within mostly by 2 hours, we shouldn't see any glucose, or the level of glucose in your blood should be reduced. But then people consume glucose food, and after 2 hours, you still feel that there are some levels of glucose in their blood. So the insulin resistance and the glucose tolerance and all that starts, but those ones doesn't really give any symptoms, so you wouldn't be able to tell. But as it goes on, and whilst it's going on to their end organ damage and all that, they are damaging the organs without you knowing. So the neuropathy, the nephropathy and all those things may go on. People will be diagnosed with kidney disease, and we will then find out that it's diabetes that is causing the kidney disease. So they will start having the symptoms of the kidney disease. They will go to the hospital, and further checks will let us know that it was actually diabetes that's causing the kidney disease. So it means the diabetes had already been there without the person knowing, getting any symptoms. But then since it causes an organ damage, they start experiencing the symptoms and they rush to the hospital. Then we realize that it was actually caused by the diabetes. So sometimes it doesn't really give any symptoms. So these symptoms that we mentioned, you don't have to sit down and wait that I'm waiting for these symptoms to come before I go to the hospital. It's always good to check early.
Okay, how about if there's diabetes in the family? Is it do you inherit it, or there are some genes that what happens?
It's one of the risk factors. So having it in your family, the likelihood that your gene can also pick it up is high. So once it's in the family, you can pick it up. All these chronic conditions, they are mostly family related, and age is another one, because I mentioned that the type 2 diabetes is age related. So once you are aging, the cell changes its shapes and all that, and sometimes it can affect the insulin resistance. Also, consuming a lot of carbohydrate diets. And people sometimes confuse the carbohydrate diets with the sugar. Some people will come to the hospital, you check and tell them they have diabetes, and they'll go like, hey, maybe need sugar, or like, I don't take any form of sugar. But then the food you are eating, the bankun, the fufu, the kenke, they all ends up in your body as glucose. So most of the diets that we have in Ghana here predisposes us to getting these conditions. But the time that we eat and what we accompany it with helps a lot. We advise that we take a lot of fibers and all that, because it helps to reduce the sugar in your system.
Right. Doc, back to the type 2, the one that has to do age. At which age would you start maybe experiencing the symptoms, or start seeing symptoms? Or when should you be careful?
So for the juvenile onset, it's as I mentioned, the type 1 mostly it happens in kids. But from the type 2, anyone from the age of 30, you can get the type 2 diabetes. So from the age of 30, it means that, especially if it's in the family, it means that you have a higher risk of getting. But there's no specific age. There are people, even now, the types are overlapping. There are children getting type 2 diabetes. because of the diet we take, because of the food we've been eating and all that. There are children like 10 years, 13 years, getting type 2 diabetes. Their insulin is producing, but their cells are not recognizing the insulin. So that's basically type 2 diabetes. But then in time past, we expected those ones to be an adult thing, but now children are getting it. So now it's kind of difficult to tell which age someone can actually get any type of diabetes.
So then it means that we are introducing the younger generation, the children, to bad lifestyle choices.
Definitely. Most, some children go to school and their snacks, these drinks and all that, it sort of predisposes them. Though children have the energy, they burn the sugar faster than adults. Children mostly don't have sedentary lifestyle, but now things are changing. Children sit in air-conditioned cars to school. They go to school, they are just sitting there. They don't really engage in physical activity. I remember when we were young, we used to do PE.
We used to do lots of things.
Yes, there was exercise and all that. So even if you consume things that contain sugar, you end up burning it. But now it's not really like that. They will come back from the house, they are on their tablets, their computer games and all that. So things are changing, and that is what is causing these health conditions.
Okay, so Doc, what's the way to go? Fresh fruit juices, homemade, instead of fizzy drinks for the children?
Yes, those are better, but then we need to change our lifestyle. We need to engage in more physical activities, deliberate exercise. Sometimes people come to the hospital, you ask about exercise and they'll go like, oh, I walk a lot. Walking is not really exercise. You need to be deliberate about it. If it's skipping, you need to skip. And exercise also increases as you go on. So if today you're able to do 100 skips, the next day you need to go further. Yeah, so that is how exercise is. But when you say you are walking, you can't really tell the distance you've covered and all that. So it's quite difficult to know all that. So we need to increase our physical activities. We need to consume more vegetables. So if you are eating your kenkey, you can add some vegetables to it. The fibers in the vegetables will counter the effect of the sugar and all that. So you feel heavy. And most people with diabetes, I advise that they should cut down the starchy foods, so the carbohydrate food. If it's rice, you can consume it with soup. So you take more of the soup, you take less of the rice. And if it's kenkey, if you used to take 2 bowls, you reduce it.
1 or 2, 1.5.
1.5, right?
She's going to have an argument with me over this.
So it's all about lifestyle. It's all about the things you do. You can be on the best medication for diabetes, but then if your lifestyle is not good, your sugar levels will always be on the high. So lifestyle is the major way to manage diabetes.
Doc, quickly, let's run through the treatment options. We don't have a lot of time. Let's run through the treatment options.
Yes, so it can be managed, let me put it that way. To completely treat it is quite difficult. As I said, it's lifestyle. So if you are able to change your lifestyle, you can manage it without medication. So once it's high, you need medications to bring it down. If the insulin sensitivity is low, if your body is not sensitive to the insulin, there are medications that helps your body to be sensitive to it. Sometimes people who use the artificial insulin. So people with type 1 diabetes, because their body is not producing the insulin, the artificial insulin that people can inject. But then there are certain herbs that contains the insulin. So if there are certain medications and all that.
Are they common
They
herbs?
are not
So we have
common.
to come to medical
Yes, they are not common. Yeah, that's the one thing with it. They are not common, but there are certain medications that when you take it, it increases your insulin levels so that the sugar wouldn't be accumulated in your blood. Yeah, and coming to Medmosis can help in that. Yeah.
Okay. So apart from the injectables and the herbs, what other treatment options are available?
Yes, so there are tablets, there are other forms of medications, the orthodox ones. We have ones, I don't want to mention any medication, but there are medications that helps the body to be sensitive to the insulin. There are also, even with the insulin, the tablet, the injection that we give, there are tablets forms that also helps with the body producing more insulin. But there are certain conditions like the pancreatitis, infection of the pancreas, people who have undergone pancreectomy, that's the removal of the pancreas and all that. will suddenly have the diabetes because what is producing the insulin is not there.
Not there.
Yeah, so there are certain conditions, autoimmune conditions and all that can lead to that. But when you get medications to prevent all those things, you'll be able to manage diabetes well.
All right. Doc, so how do we contact you? How do we find Medimosis?
Yes,
How do we make our way there?
In Accra, we are at Adenta Barrier. So from Medina to Ebri, we are on the Adenta Barrier, close to the Adenta Police Station. Accra Central AESL building, Tema Shaman, we are at the behind School for the Deaf, and also Kumasi Ahinema Kokoben. You can call on 0244 068 447. That's 0244 068 447.
Thank you, Doc. Wishing you an awesome Tuesday and a great week.
All right.
We've been having a conversation on diabetes mellitus. It's just diabetes, and all we need to know about diabetes, how to keep safe, with our favorite doc from Medimosis, Dr. Prince Osei. And he's been telling us all we need to know about diabetes. We're going to be taking a break. When we return, like I told you, there's a hashtag that we are introducing. The hashtag is called #Kofi Traffic. So, you know, we're on a campaign about how safe our roads are. And King Kaf has been doing this with Alan. He's in town. He's around Kaukudi. We're here. And very soon he'll be giving us the sights and sound and the traffic situations there. But the hashtag is GTV Breakfast and also Kofi Traffic. See you after this break.
Live from GBC Studio 1.
Vikafui Day is around Nima, and we've started a campaign on how safe our roads are, highlighting certain issues on our roads, and Kaf and Alan are the top of this campaign. And the reason why we are introducing him as Kofi Traffic is, you see it just now, I mean. So we're handing over to you now, Kaf.
So you don't record, you get chip. This is the Kanda Highway. On my right is the Islamic Training School. All the way down is the road to Asylum Down, Accra Central. And ahead of me is Airport Residential. We are at a very dead traffic light. It's not working. We have very faded pedestrian crossing to a school of all places. And then you have a refuse truck that is parked in the wrong place. When you're crossing from that side, you really can't see, drivers can't see you coming. Let me help this person cross the road right now. So slow down, slow down, slow down. Let's go. Walk. Don't run. Just walk. Walk on this. Yeah, come. Hold on. Slow down. Okay, walk. Thank you. So this is what they suffer here all the time. Nobody stops for them. The lights are not working. Drivers are going too fast, and it's a danger zone because this is a school. You know, to my left you have the Nima community. To my right you have Kanda. It's a very busy, highly populated, densely populated area, and people have no sense really of road safety. This is another schoolboy who is trying to cross, so I'm going to get them to help him. Slow down. All right, bros, come. Don't run. Walk. Just walk. How are you? What's your name? Okay, wait. You watch? Now go. Okay, all right. So, I'm on duty today. Kofi Traffic is my name, by the way. All right. Come on, guys, come on. Hey! AS 586320. AS 586320. You are busted. Hello, how are you? We're going to help you cross, okay? Hold on. Hey, what's up? Oh, people are not crossing. People are not slowing down. Slow down for my people. Ow. Walk. Don't run. Just walk. Okay. Yeah, so I think a lot of education needs to be done on what to do when you get to a zebra crossing or a pedestrian crossing. A lot of the people, the pedestrians, even avoid the crossing and they try and cross on the road. I don't think they trust that the drivers will stop for them. And I really don't blame them. You know, it's a risky thing being a pedestrian in Ghana. Here comes another young lady who is crossing. I'm going to help her to cross. Slow down for us. All right. Thank you. How are you? I'll help you cross. Okay, go ahead. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Okay, so that's the situation here. 40 lights, faded traffic, pedestrian crossings, cars parked wrongly. Road Safety Authority, we need to call you out. Ghana Police, we need to call you out. Urban Roads, we need to call you out. This is not supposed to happen. It's a very busy area. These traffic lights are supposed to be working. Otherwise, people die. Here comes another small boy who is crossing. All right, slow down. GR 756720. We are calling him out. Don't run. Walk. All right? How are you? Wait. Don't run. Just walk. Go. Yep. So, I think it's time to start calling out some of these people. Those who just blatantly disregard the traffic regulations. So, Kofi Traffic will be in an area near you, making sure. I'm busy today, pal. All right, slow down, guys. Slow down. Red, gold, green. Slow down. Come. Don't run. Walk. Don't run. Okay, walk. Okay. Slow down. Walk. That's what happens when you're going too fast. All right, go. Slow down. Go. I'm sure we're in a 50 zone. I'm going to ask my producer to go and check the sign. I think we're in a 50 zone. So why are they going so fast? So Mina, please go check out what the speed limit is. Go and check what the speed limit is and come and let me know. This is a 50 zone. People shouldn't be going so fast. Slow down, guys. Slow down. Come, let's go. Take your time. Slow down. Slow down. Look at this guy. GC 136221. I called you out. Go. Thank you. Slow down, guys. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Go. Let's go. Walk here. Walk here. Walk here. So the slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Okay, let's go. Slowly. Don't run. Amazing. Wow. What a world. We have technology, but we are using manual moves, you know, in a very high density, high traffic area. You need to slow down for my people. You need to slow down. You need to slow down. Slow down. Come here. Wait. Somebody jaywalking. You shouldn't be crossing. They should be crossing here. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Let's go. Welcome. The guy on my left is more interested in letting the traffic flow than getting the children to cross. Can you see the guy on my left? He's more interested in getting the traffic to flow than for the human beings to cross. I mean, this is just amazing. Is she coming? Are you coming? Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Come. Let's go. All right. Okay. Have a nice day. Bye. All righty. Yeah, so we're on traffic duty here. Boss, good morning. What's your name? You don't want your name? I've got a helper here. He's helping me. All right, let's go. Let's go. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Let's go. Come. Slow down. Come. Take your time. They are crossing. Come. Wait for me here, okay? Come. Now we wait. It's dangerous. Wait. Okay, cross. Don't run and just walk. Let's go. Bye-bye. You like my hair? The small boy is looking at Kofi Traffic's hair. Okay, let's go. Let's slow down. Let's slow down here. It's a busy place. Come on, let's go. Madam, please walk here. There is dangerous. Walk on the pedestrian crossing. Yeah. All right. Okay. The guy that tells me I go tire brutal. Can you imagine? Let's go. Slowly. Walk. How long? How many years? 7 years. Come.
I'm staying here.
7 years.
Look at the school.
Yeah, there's a school here.
There's a school here, about 1,000 school children. And where are people going? And we have a people always going here. Minister of State, Council of States.
You are live on GTV Breakfast. 7 years.
7 good years. The light is low off. Why? The children, many people lose their life, the children here. Many people, this is my base.
You live here?
Yeah, I'll interview this man. This man is helping us.
My brother, help them to cross the road. Yes. Help them to cross.
This one is more than 80 years here.
8 years?
Yeah, that guy.
All right, please cross.
So please, you want to know something about it? Of this man, who will tell you everything here in this area.
7 years?
7 good years.
Where is the assemblyman?
That's it. That's the best question you ask. What's the MP? God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
My name is Kofi Traffic.
My name is Al-Hajj Muhammad Bello Abubakar Sadona.
Thank you so much, sir.
God bless you people too.
God bless you too.
I will come here, the company. God bless you.
Is this GTV?
Yes.
Ghana Television.
In the name of Muhammad.
Ameen.
In the name of Anabi Suleiman, Anabi Yusuf, Anabi Idris, Anabi Isa.
Ameen. Thank you so much. We'll do our best.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Take care. All right. So he says for 7 years the lights have not worked. I mean, that is crazy. If we can verify that, that's just... And it's a school, you know, Islamic training school right here. And you have the kids trying to cross, and it's a big wahala for them. Here comes a couple more kids. Come on, guys, slow down. Slow down. Let's go. Take your time. Don't run. Just walk. Okay? Good. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down for us. Slow down. Slow down. Let's go. Walk. Okay? Bye-bye. Yeah, you can sense the frustration of that resident. He says for the past 7 years, the lights have not worked. He lives here, and it's a failure of the local authorities. It's a failure of urban roads, who are supposed to be giving us traffic lights. This one is as dead as a doornail. It's not working. And you have a school here, so faded traffic, pedestrian crossings, dead street lights. speeding drivers, wrongly parked cars, and it just amounts to chaos and confusion. So we just need our drivers to slow down. They need to slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. You know? I'm sure this is a 50 zone, but people are going too fast. It's a 50 zone. Okay, so they're going to cross. I'm going to call you out. GR427611. You didn't stop at the pedestrian crossing. Hello, how are you? Hold on, wait. Let's let them stop for you before you go, okay? Three schools are here.
There's a vocational school.
Vocational, now let's go. So there's a vocational school, there's an Islamic training school.
There's an Islamic training school.
Yes.
3 schools ahead.
And no traffic lights.
Almost 3 years. It's not working.
Where are your authorities? Where are the assembly people? Where's the MP? Where's your community leaders?
That one there, I can't tell. You can do your investigation, and they are around.
Thank you so much.
They are around. When you are here 2 o'clock and the children close from school, my brother.
I'll come here again at 2 o'clock. We'll come and check. We'll come and check.
The children are crossing. No one to cross them.
Coffee traffic will be here at 2 o'clock. We need to see what's happening here. All right, man. Take care of yourself. God bless. All right, more people crossing. Come on, just stop for them. Stop. Let's go. Walk here. Yes. Okay, you can cross now. Salam alaikum. Thank you. All right, it's frustrating for the people who live here. It's a very dangerous zone. Very dangerous. Okay, let's see. Stop for me. Pause. GW290219. Very bad. Let's go. Aja, hold on. Stop. Go. All right. Thank you. Akbar. Pause. GN665721. Boss, let's help you to cross. You can go. I'll call out anybody who drives over a pedestrian crossing when people are there. Big time. We'll call you out. At a point in time, we'll list all the numbers on GTV Facebook page. Then we'll bust all of you. So there's a man also crossing at the wrong place. So the pedestrians who are part of the problem, they are crossing where they should not be crossing. But can you blame them? When they get to the pedestrian crossing, nobody stops for them. But it's still wrong. Pedestrians must use pedestrian crossings. Yeah. Okay. So there's a coffee traffic on GTV Breakfast, giving you a flavor of what it's like to be a pedestrian in the Nima Kanda area on the highway. Drivers basically don't stop until you almost like force them to stop. Pedestrians are afraid of using the pedestrian crossing, so they tend to cross elsewhere, which is called jaywalking. Urban roads are failing us. No traffic lights working. Road Safety Authority are failing us. They're not educating people and making sure that the good things are done. Ghana Police, you are failing us. You are not enforcing traffic regulations. The police officer just crossed. GP 5103, he didn't stop for the pedestrians. GP 5103, we are calling you out. Bye-bye. Come, let's go. It's safe. Let's go. Bye-bye. See you. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye. I have a new friend. Bye-bye. Bye. A new friend. I think she likes my wig. All righty. Okay. So it's I wish I could stay here a little bit longer, but here is where we're going to be wrapping up. I hope those sheep don't decide to use the pedestrian crossing, because they're not pedestrians. So till we come again with another segment of our road safety initiative, I want to say keep watching GTV Breakfast. My name is Kofi Traffic. Catch me in a community close to you. This is someone who is stopping on a zebra crossing. He actually parked on a pedestrian crossing. Bros, my brother, this be pedestrian crossing. You can't park there. Please move. Thank you. GE240312. Parking on the pedestrian crossing. How? Let's do the last person and then we sign off. All right, let's go. Slow down, guys. Come on, slow down. Let's go. Yes. We'll help you to cross. Slow down for us. Slow down for us. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Let's go. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye. God bless. Wait. Come. Yes, don't run. Don't run. Take your time. Don't go. Don't run. Pass here. Okay. Thank you. All righty. Yes. Yeah, come. Hold on. Don't run. Just walk. Walk, okay? Let's go. Thank you. All right. That's our segment. It's GTV Breakfast, Coffee Traffic reporting for GT. We'll see you in a community close to you. God bless. Keep watching GTV Breakfast. We're on Facebook and across social media. Look for GTV Ghana. God bless you.
Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show.
In quick break, we're back. Multiti takes away to GTV.
I am Multiti Side Sadek. Lots of stories this morning. Black Queens and their tour around the world. We'll look at some boxing and then we'll look at the Euros. We're live on GTV Ghana on Facebook. You can watch us there. Let's begin our journey. Queens in Narita, Tokyo for the scheduled international friendly with the Nadeshiko of Japan. The team departed Accra Sunday afternoon and arrived in the Japanese capital at about 9 p.m. local time on Monday. The Black Queens will make a brief stopover at Hotel My Stay Premier before continuing to Kanazawa today, July 9, where the game will be hosted. Now, the team held 4 successful training sessions in Accra before traveling to the Asian country and are hopeful of putting up a performance that should give the technical handlers a good idea of how well their team is progressing. And I can't wait to see how Abdullahi Mukarama will be performing with the Queens. But let's move on and do some boxing, because in the boxing arena in Kumasi, Ashanti region, John Zeal, also known as the Monster, knocked out Emmanuel Cote in a super bantamweight UBO international contest at the SG Mall. The Osibo-led boxing promotions in collaboration with the mall presented the showdown as John Zeal made quick work on Cote, knocking and finishing him in the 4th round on Friday night, July 5th, 2024. Now, despite showing promise in the 3rd round, Emmanuel Cote was unable to continue and opted to bow clouded in red in the ring, signaling the end of their bouts. Now, John Zeal currently holds the UBO Super Bantamweight International Champion, and this is what he had to say after the victory. Stories looking at swimming. Egyptian swimming sensation Farid Osman failed to qualify for the Olympic Games in Paris 2024. Egyptian swimming sensation Farid Osman's hopes of adding an Olympic medal to her long list of achievements have been dashed by the narrowest of margins. The 29-year-old six-time All-Africa gold medalist failed to reach the qualification standard of 24.70 seconds in the 50-meter freestyle by a mere 0.02 of a second. Also a three-time world champion bronze medalist, Osman had previously been confirmed for the Paris Games, but she
that the announcement by the NPP will make a few of those front pages.
So Baupo.
Okay, the hashtag that you
yes,
put
Baupo.
together.
Yeah.
So let's see what the newspaper front pages are saying today.
Fridays.
The Daily Graphic, yesterday's interaction between the EC and the Ghana Police Service, and we are seeing the election 2024. Police on alert to troublemakers, and it's Dr. Dampare and his men showing readiness to give the protections we need for the 2024 general elections. More stories on the front page.
Okay, slippers land BECE candidates in trouble. The story is on page 30.
You can't wear slippers to write an exam.
No.
NDC to establish anti-corruption mechanism. Former President John Mahama in the address to media on Sunday night.
Okay, OWOP remains on curriculum until 2026. That story is on page 13 as well. What's OWOP?
And Betal case tribunal dismisses $7 billion claim against Ghana. We are seeing the photograph of Godfred Yeboah Dami with the story. Details on page 20. That's the front page of today's Daily Graphic.
Okay, the daily
guide. Again,
Baupo.
Yep.
Like we predicted, yes.
Yep. But we are presenting Napoto for today, and the Ashanti region will be very much alive when that happens.
Alan is there.
Yes. So we will be getting some sights and sounds
pretty shortly.
Lead up to the announcement this afternoon. More stories?
Okay. EC Chair IGP pledge credible elections.
GNPC floors any in $7 billion case.
Okwe shakes Dom Kwabinya.
NDC SC packing claims untenable. The majority in Parliament, led by the Honourable Afenyo Marking, speaking, making up the front page of today's edition of the Daily Guide.
Okay, the Daily Dispatch is leading with, there it is again, Baupo. Opoku Prempeh is a fantastic person, not arrogant. NDC MP admits.
Cylinder recirculation model CRM creating more jobs. The NPA's Dr. Mustafa Hamid, who has been pictured with that story, is saying.
Okay, what you need to know about the two running mates, MPP's Opoku Prempeh and NDC's Opoku Ajiman, the two Opokus running in up there.
Yep. This would be an interesting one to read. I think I would like to see it. And already we are seeing more PCs putting their names up. We are seeing an advert on the front page of the Daily Dispatch. So that's this front page. Let's see what the next paper says and if the NAPO issue is on there. Okay.
The new finder. Let me see. There's no issue of Baupo here.
Okay, maybe it's in the inner page.
Okay, so Blaze bid failed at first stage. Therefore, financial proposal was never opened. SNIT gained from sale of Grand Regency.
So we're still talking the hotel matters. I will adjust IMF agreement. Ex-President Mahama in that media engagement. There.
Official creditor committee approves Ghana's deal with Eurobond holders. Stories on page 6.
Okay, 5 companies submit bids to redevelop Sagleme. Housing Minister pictured there.
APN pushes for seamless mobile transactions in Africa. There's a picture of Gabi Asario Tridako there.
That's it for this one page of the new finder for today. The Daily Post, no more father for all, Mahama assures in that media engagement again on Sunday.
Akagan drags national security and 3 others to court for wrong seizure of vehicle. Court to hear case on 28th of July.
Honorable Jocelyn Tete gives out 19,575 Ghana cedis for breakfast for 783 BECE candidates. Very detailed, specific.
Sumptuous breakfast that would be. Next paper.
So, Daily Post for today, the details when you grab the paper. Let's see what the next one is.
So, this has
Daily
the
Searchlight.
busiest front page.
So, minute.
Yes, so sellout at Asato. Youth rampage over secret deal between chief and mandarins in Accra.
Mahama's hopeless pledges glitz Ghana's Pliant Media 1. It means maybe part 2 will come. Sorry, on page 2 of the paper.
Right. Let's prioritize digital systems to deliver road infrastructure. Chief of Staff saying this. Stories on page 7.
Media must not repeat Cocathon embarrassment. Information Minister speaking there, pictured with that story.
Let's uphold principles of equity, impartiality. Chief Justice tells judicial staff.
The Daily Searchlight for today. That's what the front page is saying. The Daily Statesman leading. We want to maximize our investments. SNIT's boss addresses proposed sale of 60% stake in hotels.
Right. Dakwa Newman outlines vision for Kaikwe South.
And call center app initiative to tackle road defect. Road safety has been a key campaign by all of us here at BFS. I hope you caught hashtag Kofi Traffic earlier on with his traffic watch. Very, very ardent to watch out traffic.
5 firms bid for Sagleme redevelopment project.
And GPRT denies rumors of imminent transport fare increases.
Okay, Information Minister to showcase government projects. Okay.
That's it for the front page for today's edition of the Daily Statesman. The Daybreak. SNIT defends hotel sales leading.
And majority backs CJ's request.
2024 BECE, 3 teachers arrested in Bekwai, 2 invigilators arrested in Bono region. Malpractices, we don't want that. So stay focused. All of you writing exams, kudos to you. Yeah.
GAP denies discontinuing foreign savings account.
Okay. Today's edition of Daybreak. Next one. Let's see. I'm waiting for the Bible passage so that we see what the Holy Word they have for us today is. I guess that would be all that will be bringing you. So the Daybreak is, are we getting more papers? I think that's it.
No, we're going to be handing over to Kofi Traffic. Okay,
Who has one? Here's one more.
Graphic business is
for the
here.
road.
Yes.
Data systems critical to development, government statistician speaking there.
Okay. Cocobot and 6-year losing streak. Post 2.3 billion Ghana cedis profit in 2023.
Reducing taxes on fuel, a good call. Story on page 3.
GSE's composite index makes 22.34% gains.
So that's it for the graphic business for today. And those are all the papers that we'll be bringing to you. We'll get some details when we introduce the panel who'll be looking at the stories in a bit more.
With Kofi Traffic.
He's not Kofi Traffic anymore.
No, he has to be, man.
Kofi Traffic
officially Kofi Traffic.
Kofi Traffic is when he's
that's his alter ego.
Yes, when he's in his
calling people out
main form, he's Kafwide, and he will be introducing his guests to you shortly.
University of Ghana. We were there yesterday for headlines, really interesting. And sitting next to him is Dr. Eric Odron-Osai, who is the Director General of the Internal Audit Agency, award-winning.
Award-winning.
Your agency won something. What did you win?
Open governance process.
Okay.
I mean, in the Caribbean and the Asian Pacific areas.
Okay.
Yeah, so our intervention was adjudged the best.
Congratulations.
That is publication, naming and shaming public officials who misuse public funds.
Wonderful.
They said we were bold to do the naming and shaming.
So.
And coupled with that, the irregularities have reduced.
Okay.
The Auditor General has indicated that the irregularities between 2022 and 2023 has reduced by as much as 52 billion cedis.
Oh, wow.
And this is about 32%. And the good news is that 99% of the irregularities established in 2023 are recoverable. So the next stage is we'll pursue them to recover. But we are happy about the consistent reduction in irregularities in the public sector. It means the audit committees are working, internal auditors are working. And I take this opportunity to congratulate all audit committees, all internal auditors, and to thank GBC and GTV for always being a supporter of internal audit and a supporter of good public sector financial management practices.
Thank you, and congratulations on behalf of the entire team at GTV Breakfast and GBC. Congratulations to you. We're so proud when we saw one of our panelists winning something like that. Yeah, this place is a lucky panel. You know, one of our former panelists became a VCO. Oh, yeah. Yes. One of them has founded his own party and is running for office. So, Dr. Zato, good things await you when you sit here.
Aspiring VC.
Receive it, my brother. Listen, so the last time we met you, two big political events hadn't occurred. The naming or the official stamp of approval on Dr. Matthew Poko-Prempeh to be the vice presidential candidate of the MPP. But I had but after that, on Sunday, there was the media encounter that the former president Mahama had with the journalists and reporters, the hashtag Mahama conversations. I know you're a political animal. You follow all these political things with a keen eye, as you should. Let's talk first of all about the Mahama conversations.
Kaf, I like your questions.
Yes.
The questions you asked, I really like the questions. I followed the questions.
Thank you very much.
And I was expecting good answers. And I got the answers I needed.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Dr. Zato, first of all, your general impression of this whole idea of having a media encounter and what stood out for you on Sunday?
It was good. It was good that he did it. It was good for his campaign. And for me, what stood out was the fact that it was a back and forth. He allowed the journalists to ask questions and to ask the follow-up. Sometimes during campaigns, we see candidates being too scripted. Very scripted. You can see almost like a cocoon built around the candidates, keeping them both from the people directly and also from journalists directly. And we saw something like that has backfired massively in the United States. Biden is right now struggling for almost his political career because for a very long time, his managers kept him away from such scrutiny, from those questions, from those things. And because of that, the first time he had a debate, he lost massively. And now there are even almost 6 months to elections, there are even calls about changing the candidate and stuff like that. So for the fact that he was able to, one, give the press conference, two, take questions, for me, it's a plus for him. It's a good thing for him. And I think that he's trying to show that he's more open and transparent, and I think he's thrown that challenge to his contender also do that. No? So whenever public servants or people aspiring to be in public office, whenever they open themselves up, whenever they allow themselves to be questioned by the citizens and by the media houses, for me, I like it because it puts them on record. It gets them to answer questions and it gets people to see how they behave under pressure and that's like. So it was a good thing. I think that he should be happy with how it went down. His campaign should be happy with what it went down. But there was one question that I saw that was being asked by, I think, one of the journalists says, what is new? What should ignite us? What is it that is fueling this? And I sat down and asked myself, if you remember, 4 years ago, 2016, around this time, were coming. The policy alternatives of the MPP were running off the shelf. One down, one village, one down, one village, one district, one district. They were there, so many things that they could literally roll off the tongue. We are almost 6 months to election. Apart from the 24-hour economy, which I'm still even me sitting here, if you ask me to what is 24-hour economy, I don't know.
You spent a lot of time speaking about
exactly. That's the thing.
Sunday.
That's the thing. So it's not because of the policy, but it's because people are not just buying oil so convoluted. Because I don't know what is the meat and beef of it. Because look, I said yesterday at around 10 p.m. I had to do some financial transaction. I'm able to do that on my phone. So what is 24-hour economy different from that? Like there are things about it that you've got to explain to people, and that is the point. The more you're explaining in politics, you are losing. If I say one village, one dam, I don't have to explain to you what that means, right? If I say one village, one factory, I don't have to explain that to you.
He also made the point that it is the sloganeering that has gotten us into this point.
Exactly. But that's the point.
Yes. So maybe he's afraid of making too many slogans.
No, but you see, but that is the point. When you campaigning is sales. When you are campaigning, you are selling ideas. It's not everybody that can sit down and take a paper and try to understand the nuances and the context of the policy. It's not everybody that can do that. So people need to understand. We need somebody to hunger to go on. So it's not sloganeering if that can be turned into what? A policy afterwards. Because it can be. After all, 1V1D was turned into a policy. You can say whatever you like about that policy. 1V1 factory was turned into a policy. You can say either the policy was a success or not. But what you cannot say is that sloganeering was turned into concrete policy for something.
The man is not in power yet.
No, exactly. So my point is that if we don't see, voters are aspirational. Every voter is aspirational. So we are hoping that what we know, every voter, you know what you have now. You understand that this is what I have. The question is, if you are asking me to trade it in for what? If you are saying I should change what I have now, for what? Whatever you are selling to me ought to be better than what I have now. whatever alternatives you are giving me, you need to woo people. You need people to understand that what you are having is solid, is concrete. And that is where the marketing comes in. That is where the sloganeering comes in. So it's not sloganeering. Look, oh yes, again, the same 2016 before the elections, we were hearing free cases will come. Free cases. It was a sloganeering. We say it's not. It has come.
Maybe the tactic this time is to attack the government, because for me, I saw a critique of the current government. I saw pointers about economic deprivation. I saw him talking about government corruption. He talked about government size. He talked about arrogance and their naive exuberance in just taking people for a ride. He's harping on the negatives, hoping that that can work.
So you see, now that is the problem. I was making an argument that said, you see, the campaigning is such that that's why there are two people on the ticket. The attack dog rule in a campaign is usually left for the vice presidential candidate. So that what? The main man on the ticket can then focus on the boring stuff of policy, of telling us what he or she will do, of telling us how he distinguishes himself. Because if you, on the top of the ticket, you are using a lot of your time to attack the opponent, then you are not fishing out what is new. Because every Ghanaian, whatever you say, we know. Again, this party has been in power for almost 8 years now. So their ills and their achievements are known. You understand? I don't know whether you understand the point, the theory I'm trying to make. They are known. So if you are using the time telling us what they are doing wrong, what are you trying? What are you hoping to do? That's one of the problems that the NDC as a party have, if you ask me, going to these elections. Even if you go back to 2008, by this time, we knew what Professor Mills was doing. He was also sloganeering, he was telling us new things. But he could do that because he had no record. His Excellency John Dramani, remember, part of the problem now is that he has a record in the office. And a big record at that. So you can always do, as somebody would say, the apple-to-apple comparison. And it's not good. Whenever you do that apple-to-apple comparison, it's not good. Because somebody say, look, you were here, you did this, you were here, you saw this. So how can this be? My argument is that attack dog rule should have been for Professor Opoku-Agyeman.
She did that when she was being unveiled.
But since then, I'm not talking about, I don't think I'm qualified to advise NDC on campaign strategy.
You're a political scientist.
But the point I'm trying to make is that that was it. So I sit down today and I take the way and I look at what is the policy, the eye-catching policy that they mentioned.
24-hour economy was mentioned.
Yeah.
He spoke about economic revival and job creation.
That's not new.
Do you always need new things?
That's what I'm saying. We are aspirational. What is new? We know what is here. Look, we know the taxes. We know the issue about taxes. You talked about whatever you talk about. We know. So what is new?
Said you would keep. You would go from 120 to 60 ministers. Is that not new?
No.
It's not new?
No.
To have a lean government?
Remember J. Kufuor when he complained about the government? Remember when he came inside? And then he said, oh, I was wrong when I said we need a small government. You remember that argument? The point I'm saying is that those are cosmetic things. I will reduce the size of government. It's cosmetic. Yeah, it's something that you can just do today. It's not transformational. It's not revolutionary. It's not even evolutionary. Because if your argument is that after 8 years we need to change the government, you have to go bold. You have to go big.
How about an independent value for money office? Is that not new?
Is that not part of what the other people are doing? Don't you do in a value for money auditing? Doc?
Yeah,
we do value for money
value
auditing?
for money. We do performance auditing.
You do performance auditing, value for money auditing?
National Women's Bank.
Okay.
New?
Yeah, it's new. I've never heard about that one.
Special agro industrial zone.
I don't know what that means.
It means it's new. So there was a bit of the old and a bit of the new.
My point is that now if we have to shift
because I was there the whole day.
Exactly. So my point is that if we have to now keep shifting through, you say, okay, after 3 hours, what is new, what is not? If we have to shift through, you know, listen.
Training 1 million coding professionals.
Our attention. Is that new? That's new. I would say that's new. Now you see, look, Cap, look at how long it took you to now start coming up with a new one.
Listening to you. So
yes.
you were making a point, and I'm just
responding. So what I'm saying is that.
So
what I'm saying is that now, why don't you focus? Imagine the whole speech was focused on that. Imagine the whole speech was focused on what is new, what is from. Because look, somebody asked the question. I think there's this journalist. Was it on what TV or what's his name?
Captain Smart?
Yeah, I saw that. He said, look, what is new? I think he too was there. And after listening, he never heard anything. He says, because if he's sitting down there, like you do, and for I say, I don't see anything I can tell you to, then you have a problem. My point is that they may be there, but they may be small nuggets buried in a heap of. So on the one hand, you are criticizing, you are bringing new things. That is where it's buried. So
is the 24-hour economy thing not new?
What is new about it? That's what I'm saying. What is new about it? What is new about it? Tell me what is new about it.
So when I heard former President Mahama speaking, he was talking about how this whole idea was to reduce the pressure on the cedi by making sure that we can build and manufacture things here without having to put money, precious foreign exchange into exports.
I'm a senior lecturer in political science. Monday to Friday I teach. There are times, in fact today, my last lecture ends at 7:30 p.m. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's 7:30 p.m. I think lectures in Legon end at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. I don't know. But I have a class today that ends at what? 9:30 p.m. So we start 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. That's my lecture. Secondly, I teach on Saturdays. And sometimes I teach on Sundays. And especially nowadays with online teaching, because of the online courses, you teach throughout. Last 2 weekends, Sunday, I was conducting IAs on campus. We're there. So what I'm saying is, I said, the University of Ghana is basically running a virtual 24-hour economy. That's what we do, because there are lectures, people having lectures late at night or early in the morning, weekends and everything. So we're already running it. So when you say 24-hour weekend, what is new? That's the question I'm asking. You understand? If I can bank 24 hours, what is new? The thing is that it looks so nebulous that you have to now start to pick out the branches to be able to understand what it means. It's that convoluted. What does that mean? Because what's new? There are fuel stations that are serving 24 hours.
But I don't think that being able to access my bank at 5 minutes past midnight is that's all the 24-hour economy.
I've not said that. So what exactly? That is then the question. So what exactly is it?
So from what I heard on that day, he was talking about accelerated economic growth, talking about job creation, talking about import substitution. I just mentioned that. Talking about boosting exports. It's supposed to get people. It will boost exports with many Ghanaian companies looking for foreign partners to develop their businesses and take advantage of new opportunities. It's about foreign market expansion. It's about private sector-led growth, reducing unemployment, and it's like a comprehensive development approach. These are I can give you direct quotes from what he said.
I'm not saying you can't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you should. But I'm saying, if at this stage, listen again, and you are still trying to avoid what there's a problem. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm not saying it's still problematic.
Yeah.
Because that it means that the messaging is so condensed that you have to go through it. You have to read that convoluted document. You have to peel off like an onion to understand what is there. That is the strategy.
You want something simple like one village, one dam. Every village will have a dam.
Yes,
but do all villages have dams?
No, I'm saying there's a difference. There's a difference.
So you make a promise to get into power.
You make a policy. No, you make the policy and you go out, because look, under that policy, yes, a lot of villages are based. Some also did. That is what you then take that and concretize in the policy. And as I said, you go to the ministry, you go to either wherever you go, the ministry or the government or wherever. There are places where some of it has been done. There are others has not been done. One village, one factory. There are some villages that had it. My village doesn't have one. From Tongu, there's no 1D, 1F in the whole of Sesale East constituency. And the
maize is flowing from there.
The maize is flowing. Thank you. Now you're coming. The maize is flowing from there, and the roads too are very bad. So the point I'm making is that it's not. I'm not saying that because you've done it, you achieve it. I'm simply saying that it is so convoluted. So listen, I don't even know what exactly constitutes and what is new about it. You understand? I'm not going. We are mostly running an informal economy in Ghana. Economy is mostly informal. Whether you like it or not, a large chunk of the economy is informal. The farmers, I've always said this, the rains have started in the north, the farmers have gone there. Those farmers are not going to do 24-hour economy. No. They're not going to do it. The informality is so much so that people are not going to be running. The truck drivers are not going to be driving throughout the night. There's going to be a time everybody's going to sleep. There are certain nuggets inside there. There are certain policies there. For me, it's difficult now to tease them out, difficult now to get them out, and then to understand where it is going with this.
You're watching GTV Breakfast. What are your thoughts on the Mahama conversations that took place on Sunday? We'll talk about the vice presidential candidate of the NPP in a short while, but I want to hear from Dr. Osai. What were your general impressions of the encounter? What stood out for you? What do they need to work more on?
Thank you very much. I think it's a good platform. If we can sustain it, and if all other political parties can do the same, it gives Ghanaians the opportunity to interrogate policies and program they intend putting in their manifesto. In governance, we call it policy shopping. So you are able to test the efficacy or acceptability or otherwise of your policy so that you finalize your manifestos. And we are in a manifesto writing period, so you can understand why that happened. But among the things that stood out for me were the questions our dear journalists asked. And it tells me that all journalists, thumbs up for you, they ask pinning critical questions.
Pinning critical questions.
Pinning and critical questions that speaks the mind of the ordinary Ghanaians. For instance, the question that pushed the former president to say that I will work towards amending Section 208 of Criminal Offences Act to protect journalists. That struck me, that this is very important and this must be pushed. There was also a question on the salaries of journalists in Ghana, both in the private and the public media houses. And these are things that we all need to talk about. They are the fourth estate of the realm. The questions about the Galamsey, your questions, for instance, it was on the spot. And it spoke the minds of Ghanaians. And then also, those who ask questions in the local language. In fact, I was disappointed Obonu, the journalist in Obonu, did not feature. So they can ask questions in Ghana.
Exactly.
So my brothers and sisters from the Ghana part of this country would also understand what is happening. But I congratulate Yatiti and Captain Smart. They asked their questions in a local language. And the president had the former president had no option than to respond to it. So all in all, I think it is a good platform, but I'll give more thumbs up to the journalists because they ask critical questions. I was also happy about the question they asked on the OSP, whether or not he may want to retain or discontinue the operations of OSP. He was very emphatic that insofar as the OSP is doing the needful, he will retain the OSP. The question about fighting corruption, he was very clear and categorical that he is going to fight corruption head on. And in fact, he indicated that if you want to be part of his government, then you have to choose between going to do Galamsey or doing other activities than being part of his government. Because he will not subscribe, or to quote him, he said he will not be a clearinghouse for corrupt activities in his government. So all in all, I think it was a good platform, but journalists won the day. Because the questions they asked, my dear journalists, you spoke our mind.
We do all.
You do all. You do all.
Thank you very much. You're watching GTV Breakfast. What are your thoughts on hashtag Mahama Conversations? I would love to hear from you. 055 556 1034. In the news, 4 teachers arrested for examination malpractices at BECE. Ghana Armed Forces subpoenaed to testify in ongoing ambulance trial. RTI Commission orders Senate to furnish it with information requested by Multimedia. And MPP to officially outdoor Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as vice presidential candidate today. And that's what I want us to deal with right now. I'm going straight to my political analyst, senior political science lecturer. Were you surprised by his nomination?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Okay. It was an obvious choice, right?
It was one of the most openly displayed secrets. You understand? It was just there. It's not as if it was hidden, but I think this was one of the things that so far the campaign has managed so well, so professionally. They never denied or agreed anything. They just allowed it in the public sphere. They allowed the public debate about this candidate to go on for so long. It happened. They did internal polls. They did regional consulting. They did all the consultations to announce it. So I think that it was an obvious choice for the MPP and a strategic one because of what they see the electoral to be. And I think NAPO, so far, if you look at the appointment they have done, they are achieving the first text of what they have to do. One, do no harm to the campaign. So far, his appointment has done absolutely no harm. Two, unite the party, especially in Ashanti. Because of this, we heard about nuggets of information that there was some disarray in Ashanti, that Napo and Chairman Wuntumi were not talking. There are some other people interested in. Thus, so far, none of them has come out. We've not even heard any of their aides coming out to say that all that has been done. We heard that it was part of a strong condition for what's his name? Canada, Japan to join the campaign. So if you look at the initial reasons why, there was no surprise here that they've been able to achieve strategically the political objectives of what they wanted to do and to get Napo to get this ticket. And that's the reason why today they're having a big party. I was telling somebody, look, this is a strategic political reason that they are doing this in Kumasi. If you true back, when Professor Opoko Ajiman was appointed as Mahama Swanimi, the outdooring was done in UPSA. And we asked the questions, why UPSA? She has a reason. Why? Because part of this because she doesn't have a traditional constituency within the NBC and within in the country. She doesn't have a traditional constituency. This constituency. Honorable Opoko has a traditional constituency. First of all, as a member of parliament, the day she was appointed, she walked onto the stage. She accepted that admission with about 40,000 votes. Those are the people who voted for him in Manchester. He walked onto the case with them. So today, that's why they are going back to Kumasi, because that is his traditional constituency. He's going to be adored in front of thousands, almost 500,000 or so people in a park to adore him. That is a show of strength. That is a show of power. And that is shock and awe, because the political optics of that are going to be amazingly great. The purpose will be to energize the NPP and to tell them that they are ready. So for me, it was not surprising. For me, it was something that they handled very well, and I think that the political party, they've hit a good one with that one.
About the base, I mean, I look back at 2008, and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia was outdoored in Takrady. That was not his base.
Yes.
Because he was a complete novice with respect to political action.
Yes.
So the venue didn't really matter.
Thank you. Good. Thank you. So that's why the change is. So remember, everybody agrees. He was complete outsider, even unknown to even everybody within the NPP. He was a complete outsider, and he came. And that's why it took him so many years to build up to the endearing rule of the people. You understand? You can do that. That is different from the current one. So one, Honorable Mati Opoko Prempe is not completely outsider. Two, but if you take, secondly, but if you take Professor Opoko Ajiman, she's not new. That's the point I mean. She was the flag bearer last time. Before that, she was an education minister for how many years? For 4 years.
So there was no need to find a base for her, because she already has a base.
You don't have to find a base, you create a base. So what is the base?
The intellectual environment. Middle class. UPSA will be what?
So the point I'm trying to make is that the political base, look, NPP knows something. They know that if they're going to win this election, they need to build a firewall around Kumasi, Ashanti region and Eastern region.
I heard somebody saying that if they get 75% in Ashanti, they will win.
This appointment is the last piece, the last puzzle in building that firewall around Ashanti and Eastern region, to prevent the NDC from making the inroads, to prevent NDC from reaching a certain target, and to keep themselves from it. That is the political and strategic reason why they did that.
Do they need to only win those two regions massively to win the election?
They don't need only two, but they must. Those regions are necessary and sufficient.
But those two regions, if they win those two regions, it can show up about 4 regions
by healthy margins. Look, let me pick.
Are their supporters galvanized?
Let me make this. Look. If you go up north, if you look at the political, if you go up north, the up north used to be the NDC's lunch. That was the NDC's lunch. If you take the traditional upper west, upper east northern region, that was there. Now cut down into 5.
Northeast, Savannah.
That used to be the NDC's lunch. You know that. We know that. But today, the NPP is eating that lunch. Go to northeast. All the 6 seats are NPP seats. Go to the original northern region. They've literally shared the seats half.
Is that why some people think the creating of new regions came about? To kind of gerrymander the situation?
I'm analyzing what is there, not
Fix it
why.
to your advantage.
I'm analyzing what is there, not
to bring local governance.
Not why it's there. I'm analyzing. So now then you go to Damango, you go to Savannah. Even there, the NPP has a seat or 2 there. You go to a place. So the north, that was the NDC's lunch. The NPP is eating that lunch. It's eating part of that lunch. Then you come down. Now they pick. So they win. They pick some food there and they pick some seats there. They come and build this huge wall around Ashanti and Eastern region. Raise the numbers. So we now reduce the campaign to what? Greater Accra, Central, and Western Right. That now those now become the floating regions. That is the plan. That, if you look at it, that is the strategy to winning the elections for the NPP. For the NDC, the strategy is this: maximize all the votes in Volta region, clean out the rest of the northern region, like ramp up the numbers. You want to have 70%, 60% wins. Ramp up all the numbers. Then you don't come down, and then in the same Ashanti NDC, remember, listen, the NDC needs certain minimum ceilings in Ashanti NDC region. That's what I'm saying, that all roads to the Jubilee House pass through Ashanti. If you don't meet those targets, you cannot make the numbers. That's why. That's the reason. That's why this is important. That's why this appointment is important. That's partly part of the reason why Honorable Napo was picked, to make sure that that wall is complete and to make sure that he delivers there.
Is he the best candidate for the MPP?
Based on this, yes. Based on the profile and based on what they intend to achieve, yes.
What are his downsides?
His downside, he's a politician, and he has taken policy positions. He has made policy decisions, and those decisions sometimes come on in. Look, whenever you're in the public space and you have to make a policy, you have to make choices. Sometimes it becomes choosing one thing over the other. He has done that. So he has some political downside when you look at the policy. You have to look at his successes are, for me, if you look at them, they are far more than that. Okay, so that's the question. He has some downside. Every politician does. We just talked about His Excellency John Dramani, and said there are some downsides. So he has some downsides, but irrespective of those,
what are his downsides?
Honorable Batio, I've just told you, he has handled policies at the Ministry of Education. There are some issues there that he may have to iron out. Why did you make this choice over that choice? He may have to. He handled the education minister. We recently experienced. They say it was some Doomso or not Doomso. Doomsday, whatever. Yeah, he has to answer for that.
Does he have the gravitas to be vice president, a potential acting president when the president is not around?
I don't know what you mean by gravitas, but have you seen him? Every member, every MP in Ghana wakes up every morning and thinks himself as being a potential president or vice president. He is somebody who has been a cabinet minister, who is still a cabinet minister. He has everything it takes to be a president. I would say that's what I want. There's no question. Right? He has the gravitas. That's what
I've heard him being described as arrogant. Yeah. Does that work against him?
No. What does that mean?
Arrogant.
Do you remember when they said President Akufo-Addo was arrogant? When you say historical, what does it mean to say to his arrogant?
Yeah, you look down on people. You look at them through your nose. That's what it means.
You see, we tend to have this thing. A man comes into office and he's told that free HSS, forget about it. It's a generational thing. We are not ready in the next 10 years. He says, next 10 years, I'll do it in under 6 months. In under 6 months, he rolls it out. It's a success. Now, is that arrogant? Because his handing over notes told him that you cannot do this, and we have to get this done in about the next 10 years. You cannot do it now. He says, thank you. I see your 10 years projection. I raised you 6 months, 1 year. It was done. Is this done? One of the most phenomenal, one of the most inspiring policies that any government has ever done since independence. Is that arrogance? The point I'm making is this. Sometimes when you are assertive, sometimes when you are strong in the public, it can be mistrued. Tell me what exactly it is that he has done or not done that sounds as arrogance. If you say comments that can be taken out of context in the media, we have a lot of them. Every politician, you can have it. So what is arrogance? Because the guy, if he's assertive, is it arrogant?
Create your own timetable.
Yes. But then if you go, you see, I usually don't like to do this. My style is not to do this false equivalency.
No.
So you did this.
People take those things quite personally, you see.
Yeah, but I said this. So if you tell labor unions, if you look labor unions in the eyes and you say, I'm a dead good, to hell with your concerns, are you arrogant?
That was being flippant. I mean, it was a serious thing to say.
You are a social democratic, one of the traditional homes, the base of a social democracy is the unions.
That was a goof.
So if you,
that was a big goof.
No, that was
and you got punished for it.
So if I say, get your own, but if you look at there's a record of this, the former president and the former president, also telling people to get their own timetable. Also saying, is that arrogance? My point, it's not.
Was he rewarded though?
No, I don't know.
He suffered in 2016.
The point suffered in 2020. That's the president candidate. This is not the president candidate. The point I'm making is this: look, if that is arrogance, then every politician is arrogant. If that is arrogance, it is. Look, every politician has this audacity to say that I want to be politician, I want to lead people.
President Kufuor wasn't seen as arrogant. Neither was Vice President Aliyu Mahama.
Yes.
Neither was President Mills.
Yes.
They were not seen as arrogant.
They are from a different generation. They are from a different generation.
Yeah. Perceptions count, though, don't you?
I'm not saying they don't count. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that the best thing that MPP can do right now is to let Napo be Napo. Is to free him, to be him, because Ghanaians have seen him. One of the things politicians, people sometimes try to do is to over micromanage you. before you realize they are trying to put you into something that you're not. Once you do it, you lose it. And you get, when Kennedy Japan started running, right? People thought that he would tone down. People thought that all of a sudden he would become something. He didn't know. He remained himself and got rewarded for it.
Did he? He didn't win.
He came from obscurity to become the heir apparent today.
But still didn't win.
It doesn't matter. It wasn't about winning then. It was becoming an heir apparent. He's the heir apparent. He's now a kingmaker now. And that is what is
how
winning.
Is he a kingmaker?
No, that's what is winning. After the elections, how many people did the vice president go to beg for their votes? How many people did he need their support? He was one of the people. He's now one of the key advisor people there. And the number of people that voted for him, that is part of the reason why the NPP is being united now, because he's able to come on board. The point I'm making is that Napo, being Napo, is one of the biggest things that has happened to them. And he has what it takes, because he's shown that he has the political experience, the political experience to win the elections. And that is it. So for me, the rollout is going to be a political showdown. And now we have said, look, Kafwe, watch out for the next political debate. Because I am getting my popcorn ready.
With Sobolo.
Let's say Sobolo.
Yeah.
Let's for the purposes of it's too early to say anything else. So it's Sobolo. I want to see the Professor Poko Ajman and Dr. Makere on the stage debating. I want them to debate education policy and
two former education ministers.
It's going to be amazing. I want to see His Excellency John Dramani, His Excellency Dr. Mahama debate on the campaign stage. It's going to be amazing. Two little younger people, the same generation with some ideas. This election is going to be sweet.
And the political scientists are licking their lips.
You have no idea.
And smacking their lips.
You have no idea.
Stock up on the popcorn.
It's going to be amazing.
With beer.
Okay, it's too early. It's too early.
Not in the morning.
It's too early.
Mr. Dr. Opoku Prempeh's selection to be vice president. And very soon we'll be having a report from Kumasi in his area with our man, Darrell.
Okay, let me congratulate Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh.
You know him personally? Or from afar?
I've worked with him.
Okay,
I've worked with him because of the work I do in the public sector. I work with everybody. You see, education and energy sectors are the two most critical and difficult sectors of the Ghanaian economy. So if you're able to manage it, it means you've cleared a very big and high hurdle. This election is election that will be fought on strategy. I always say that not only in Ghana, but in governance, the political party with the most superior strategy wins elections. You don't win election by showing your machoism, by telling lies, or by saying things you cannot do. You win elections by strategy. And I think that the nomination of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as the vice presidential candidate to the NPP presidential candidate is a master stroke. It's a master stroke because when you look at the political figures by way of votes, once you are able to garner majority of the votes in the Ashanti region, you've been able to close a margin across a number of regions in this country. And Matthew Opoku Prempeh, Honorable, is coming from Manshia. And I heard this morning he will be introduced to Otumfo before they go to outdoor him. So I think it's a master stroke. What they need to do, the NPP need to do, is to help him manage his public utterances. It's to help him, and he will grow on the seats because all other people grew on the seats. So I would say it's a master stroke. Let's see how the elections go. But I think that the political party with the most superior strategy stands the chance of winning this election. It's not about the noise. It's not about the noise at all. I think there are superior strategies, and both political parties should take advantage of the available strategies. I believe by now they should have people really thinking and strategizing for them, because the political party with the most superior strategy will win this election.
Will tiredness also play a role, Dr. Zato? Because since 92, we've had an 8-year cycle. Parties come in for 8 years, people get tired, they kick them out, no matter what they say. After 8 years, they go. This particular administration is winding down on 8 years. And they have consciously tried to break that mold by talking about breaking the 8 ever since, I mean, from 2017, they started talking about break. It was 4 more for Nana going into 2020. And after 2020, when they won that election, they switched into breaking the 8 mode. Is it possible that Ghanaians would just go with the flow and say, you know what, you've had your 8 years, leave, let somebody else come?
It's possible. It's possible. So to say it's not possible is not to factor in. It's possible because, again, after 8 years...
That's using Dr. Baumia's slogan. It is possible that the 8 can be cannot be broken.
So it's possible. I'm not to say that it's not. It means that you are not reading. It means that you are not testing the pulse of the person. You are not understanding it. In fact, I've made this point. If you look globally, political parties are very vulnerable whenever they are changing the candidate. You understand? In the United States, that is when they are most vulnerable. So most of the parties that have won, they usually win after every 2 terms. You see that basically after every 2 terms, there's a change of government. But it's difficult to defeat a 1-term president in the United States. I'm not saying it's impossible. Trump was defeated. But it's impossible. So if you look at the trend, it is similar thing. If you go up to Canada, whenever a leader, you are changing a leader, because there you can be there for a very long time. But when you are changing the leader, you are bringing a new leader, that's when you are vulnerable. That's what you see. So it's the same thing in Ghana. We saw that in the year 2000. We saw it in 2008. In 2000. So we've seen that. But there are certain differences today too that we must also understand. There are certain differences.
Let's hear them.
In 2000. The NDC changed their candidate. It was Professor Mills. He was new. He was never president before. He didn't have a record. Now, and the opposition had J. Kufuor. J. Kufuor didn't have a record. He wasn't a president. He was the freshest. He was new. But he
was running for a second time, right?
No, J. Kufuor in 2000. That was the first when he was just coming.
96. Who was 96?
I'm talking 96. It was Rollins.
No, yeah, but who was the NDC candidate, MPP candidate then? 96?
MPP candidate, it was Kufuor.
Kufuor, yes.
Yeah,
so
I remember he was never empowered.
So he was just going second time trying to second attempt.
Good.
Yeah.
Forward that to what? Then he won. Fast forward to 2008. It was Professor Mills. Again, Professor Mills was never a president before. He was vice president. He was never a president before. So he didn't have that record. You could not go back and say, as number 1 you did A, number 1 you did B, number 2 you did. No, he didn't. He was the vice president. We all know that. And then he won. Today, the same argument cannot be made. Today, then fast forward to today, that's what I'm saying, there's a difference. Today, as we're saying, you have President former President John Dramani, who has been president twice. He succeeded the late Professor Mills, then won his own election. So he has a record. And that is why now you see that apple to apple comparison being made. And that's one of the change, the new things in this campaign. You understand what I'm saying? Because we say, is it nostalgia? Are people nostalgic for the Mohammedis? Are people craving for the Mohammedis? Have the Mohammedis been so good that people say, oh, we miss those days?
It might be that the people are not really voting for Mr. Mahama, but they are voting against this administration.
So that's what I'm saying, that all these factors have to play it. So that's why we can now not say that whole idea that after now a new variable has been introduced. The new variable being the fact that the reason why the first time we always go automatically, let me say is because the candidate that is coming has always been completely new, completely has never been in power, does not have a record of being in the executive office. But today we do. And so whatever you are saying, whatever you are counting for instance, you can always say that, but you were president once and you were president twice. What did you do about it? We can always go back to that. So that is what I'm saying, that it is also another variable, the other thing that we have to put in this equation to now see. And that is what is giving almost all the political parties now, because then, for instance, His Excellency Dr. Mahama can say, I've never been president. Say whatever it is, I've never been president, but I've been vice president. And so the executive powers, the constitution limits what I can do or cannot do. You have been president. You have had that executive power to do whatever you have to do. You understand? So it is about the fact that all these factors must be put inside. In the equation and in the calculation, and that is it. So we cannot say anybody who says that it's easy to bring it's lying. Anybody who says that no, that is difficult. But you must then also factor the fact, put in the factor that the candidate that's running now has a huge record, a huge track record, and that record.
But he's not president. So where is his record coming from?
He's John Dramani.
No, Dr.
I know. I'm talking about. He's new. Then he can now say that I've never been executive president before. So the things you're talking about, maybe I didn't have the power to do that. His Excellency John Dramani cannot say that. He's been executive president before. Well, for instance, some of the questions were asked him. You did this under your administration. You said this under your administration. You did this under your administration. The moment you are prosecuting that, it means literally, even and it came out during the press conference that people asking for about things that he did when he was.
So if Dr. Bawumia does not have a record, why is he running on digitization? It's not his record. It's Nana's record.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have a record as an executive president. He has not been president.
So we're splitting hairs now.
We're not supposed to. We're just stating the fact that the constitution closes you with certain powers when you are president. If you are not president, you don't have it.
That's why you have the driver mate.
That was what he used. You understand? So I'm just stating facts. They're just obvious facts. You understand? Because remember, I'm not talking about His Excellency John Dramani when he was the vice president. No, that's not where I'm going, because then there was an executive president. So remember, I said that when he succeeded the late Mills, from that moment he became executive president.
I get
so you can always make that argument that you once had all the power, and what did you do with it? And now you want it. So that is the point I'm making, which is different from this.
Got your point. Thank you so much. Dr. Osai, anything you want to add to this before we get the messages? And go to Alan, who is in Kumasi.
Yeah, I think let's go to Kumasi.
Let's go to Kumasi.
Yes, let's go to Kumasi. When we come back, I'll show you the statistics.
All right, you have some stats for us.
Yes,
okay, very interested to see those statistics. And I wonder whether we have any messages on the board. Yes, okay, yeah, we do have some messages. I'm going to read some of those messages. Not yet. Okay. All right. We'll wait. They are flowing in nicely. I wish you could see what I see. But thank you for the messages. Keep them coming in. 055-556-1034. Can you drop me those papers? I'm just curious about what is on the front page. The papers. 2004 elections graphic. Police on alert to troublemakers. We need them on the roads also. There are too many people making trouble as far as road safety is concerned. We beg you, police. We've got NDC to establish anti-corruption mechanism, says Mahama. Slippers land BEC candidates in trouble. BEC candidates, some of them should be writing exams right now. Yeah. Why? Are they war slippers? The dreams of 12 BEC candidates were almost turned into a nightmare almost when they were almost bad for writing their first paper, wearing slippers instead of prescribed cross sandals. Are you going to send them home because they are wearing slippers? Well, you must also follow the rules. BEC candidates, you're supposed to be wearing the right sandals, but I hope they didn't stop them. Okay, so they said it was almost derailed. Okay, avoid examination malpractices, President admonishing the candidates. Mahama, I'll use 24-hour economy to reset Ghana on the path of progress and development in 4 years. And back page, we have an international education summit which has opened in Accra. Parliament passes bill to establish National Roads Authority. Kofi Traffic is not happy with this, because whether it's authority or whatever, the roads are still not safe. So there's a bill that has been passed. And this was after the Minister of Roads and Highways moved a motion in the House during the third reading of the National Roads Authority Bill. So this is going to be a body responsible for planning, developing, maintaining, and managing Ghana's road network. This new entity will streamline the management of Ghana's national roads by bringing together 3 key agencies: Highway Authority, Urban Roads, Feeder Roads, into one single authority. And all these trunk roads, arterial roads, collector roads, district and interdistrict roads will be placed under the jurisdiction of the National Roads Authority. All we want are traffic lights that work. We're not interested in nomenclature and what it looks like. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it is a duck. If the lights are dead, they are dead. We just need the lights on. And you'll be surprised, my doctor friends here. We went out to do our road safety thing last week at the Ridge roundabout, the interchange there. And I tell you no lie, as we were there pointing out the 7 sets of dead traffic lights, they actually came and fixed the lights while we were on air. We had the lights come on while we were doing the report.
This is GTV
which shows that things can be done if people's eyes are on them. We're going to switch over now to Kumasi, where it's all blue, white, and red. And our man, Darrell Alantego, is on the streets. I have a strong feeling he's in the Menchia South constituency, but he will confirm for us pretty soon. Let's take you over by the power of broadcasting magic to the Ashanti region, where Darrell Alantego is standing by to give us a report on the day that the vice presidential candidate of the MPP is unveiled
like a box of cream crackers to the entire world. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Darryl, take it away.
Here in Kumasi. We're coming to you live from the Jubilee Park, where today, this afternoon, the flag bearer of the new National Democratic Congress, NPP, will officially be joined by the entirety of the party machinery to formally outdoor the running mate for the 2024 general elections come December 7th. What is very interesting when you arrive here in Kumasi, especially this morning, right from Tech Junction, as you descend down towards Alonga and then make your way to Jubilee, you will see a sea of red, white, and blue with the inscriptions NPP. And what you see on placards, billboards, and other banners circulating in town is the photograph of His Excellency Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his nominated running mate, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, affectionately called Napo, who is the MP for Menchia South. Arriving here at the Jubilee Park this morning, there is every bit of meticulous planning being rolled out into making sure that the formal outdooring is definitely taking place. And this morning we're expecting some other party faithfuls as well as party officialdom to be present. We can't also lose sight of the traders who will also take advantage of the situation and earn a little bit of money here and there. And so you have a lot of party paraphernalia on display this morning at the Jubilee Park. Not only that, you have all the way from what looks like necklaces, ribbons, wristbands, any other thing you can talk about, t-shirts, caps, hats, everyone you can talk about is here on display. What we have not caught sight of, though, at this time of day is any official from the party who will interact. We have also cited a few constituency persons who are ensuring that whatever plan they were handed from the top is actually being rolled out in the manner and way in which it was expected or directed to take place. I will try a little to see if I can speak to this trader on the side. I'm not sure where his affiliation or what his affiliation, but as far as I can see, she is here to trade. And so let me go quickly. She's jumped on the phone and so I can't do it. But yeah, I'll make my way down the street. In fact, from the Jubilee Park to as far as I can see, southward and northward, CAF, you have a good, proper display of NPP colors. In any case, Kumasi is supposed to be the natural bank of the NPP. And so don't be surprised if NPP this morning is making the rounds and living up to the billing that NPP is indeed Kumasi and Kumasi is NPP. Let me try and see if my sister here will speak to me and find out what morning mido apumwe bibia boko anope mehunu se wa hwedwa kese pa ite saying eden ni nia mu hwe kwan ka boss mami ka duku no boss mami ka boss mami anope wan na wo baje ne so
oh me baje na posu den we are waiting for our vice president. Yeah, we are waiting for
baby no can say we dey asantima diem oni mo baje sa
yeah as diem pa ya gide tum prekope
u ka dey pass waka eden na mamu nyina baje ne so
ya baje ne so sa asantima no obetimi aye ne yi ade pa we fia oyi tie no so obetimi aboa aye ne yi te na ya yi no
ntiane no why na mo hwa kwan say enhyiamu yi awia yi obepie na mu nyina so mabaje ne so yi se mampani angasa ba bia
yeah chair vice president wanu credit untina yeah program tie hu ne dia oh se bon be ye mo
ntine na nya afofra e be baje ne so no na mu wonu angasa na mo hwe ne kwan me da se na anope eden ni nyoma wo di ase edwa wo hwe sa manfo beto bi ama wo
bi wo ha ye wo mo afra ye wo duku ye wo atare t-shirt ye de to ye nsa ko mu ade everything You'll be BRB.
Thank you very much. I am also looking forward to interacting with some officials of the party as the day goes on, maybe at some point in the afternoon when they start arriving. We're expecting the president himself to be around, the vice president, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and then his nominee. We're also looking forward to receiving party officials such as the general secretary, the organizing secretary, or the national organizer, as well as other constituencies, neighboring constituencies within the Ashanti region, who will be here to support the nominee, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. We must also, or let me also say, that our ears on the ground has it that a by-election is supposed to take place, but before that takes place, there is supposed to be a nomination or election of parliamentary candidate for the Menchia South constituency, where Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempeh has obviously had to vacate to become the running mate for Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Also, our ears on the ground has it that a very close family member of Honorable Opoku Prempeh is vying for the position of a parliamentary candidate to represent the people of Menchia South, where Honorable Matthew Prempeh has now had to vacate to join in the race to the Jubilee House 2024. There is every thing in place this morning to confirm that really Asante and Kumasi, for that matter, is looking forward to receiving Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, who will be formally and officially outdoored to partner His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to the Jubilee House 2024. I have spoken to a few people and asked this very simple question. Why will anybody think that this pair will be the game changer 2024? We're waiting for answer to that question, and when it arrives, I'll pass it on. Ghana will hear of it. The whole nation is this morning, all the day throughout, looking forward, and all eyes are fixed on the Jubilee Park here in Kumasi. Whatever drops, whatever comes up, I will surely make sure the Ghanaians hear of it. Without any further questions, Kafi, or if you have any questions, I'm on standby to responding. Any other thing else, then we'll have to wait till 2 p.m. when the event kickstarts. And Ghana, NPP, nationwide, will receive Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh to partner His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to the general elections come December 7th and the road to the Jubilee House, where the decider rests with the good people of Ghana.
The smartest dressed field reporter in the whole of West Africa, Daryl Alantego, reporting from Jubilee Park, where I'm sure Messrs. Bawumia and Opoku Prempeh will be thinking from Jubilee Park to Jubilee House. But that will be a decision of the Ghanaians on December 7, 2024, 151 days away. You're watching GTV Breakfast. We are counting. These are the messages: 055-556-1034. As for we, the ordinary Ghanaians, dear, we are all we are looking for is a leader who will make good use of our natural resources with Ghanaians to create more jobs, produce more foodstuff, to become self-sufficient and export for foreign exchange. That is all. Mickey Darling, Ashalaja. Good morning. I agree with Dr. Joshua Jabunti Zato's analogy that this year's election is going to be decided by strategy. JM has been a president before, and certain Ghanaians are not happy with some treatments given them during his regime. President Akufo-Addo should try and clear allied health professionals to get work. Greetings to your panelists, especially Dr. Jabunti Alasan Sindon Wia Yuka from Tumu.
Wia Yuka? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Does it have a particular meaning, Wia Yuka?
Plenty matter. Asembebre.
Asembebre. I like the name. His Excellency promised to fight corruption by dealing with his appointees and ministers who indulge in any corrupt activity. It's laudable, but my question is, haven't we heard from our politicians such a gargantuan promise before? And what practically did they do then when they occurred? Thank you. Angel has descended from heaven to send us a message. Good morning. NAPCO should think twice before it's too late. Dr. Bawumia promised NAPCO their arrears will be paid before 2nd June, but today is 9th July. This should tell them that the man has nothing for them. And Esapeli, NDC Deputy Secretary. Good morning, Kaf, and your astute guest. Kaf, Do you know you also sound arrogant? Yes. Yes. I don't care. Is that arrogant enough? I'm not too worried about what people think about me. Yeah, I'm not worried. I know what I think about myself. So
when you contest for class rep,
I'm not worried.
we'll remind you.
I'm not worried, man. Good morning. Empty promises don't win elections. Tell JDM. Telling the populace the problems of this government will expose you because you failed big time when you were in the helm of affairs. Mahama is not new. You know him already. And you think the rebranding can never change. Okay. All right, Emmanuel from Kumasi. The victory is awaiting MPP come December 7th. Ashanti region is going out to vote 85%. Not to talk of Northeast and parts of Volta, which are now changing their minds. K. Asante says, good morning. I don't buy the notion that Honorable Napo is a royal from Mensha. So far as you come from Ashanti, you are subject to the king. No royal sentiments. Okay. Napo's father was a chief to the Asantini. Okay. Well, I don't know much about the royal lineage. I'm just reading your messages. For Kafui, I like watching GTV Breakfast Show because all the members of the panel on daily basis discuss issues critically, always on point to educate the masses. Regards to Dr. Odro Osai, who used to be my ACCA Financial Accounting 1.1 lecturer at Kasik ACCA Study School. Teacher, your students are giving you... Somebody say happy birthday to me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Happy birthday, guy.
Yeah, happy birthday, guy. What's up, man?
Where's the party?
Where's the party? Give us cake. Can't be wearing this beautiful outfit and telling us happy birthday to you. The whole of Ghana now knows it's your birthday, man. Your birthday. Congratulations, Dr. Odro Osai and his group for the international award. What advice do you have for the Bank of Ghana to stop the CD from getting out of hand with the dollar? Or should we now be using the dollar as an official currency before the 2024 elections? Alhaji Dawuda is always asking us good questions. Any currency advice?
There should just be a good reconciliation between our monetary policy and fiscal policy.
And we should stop eating a lot of imported things.
And eat tumu maize.
Exactly.
Yes,
one time. Please tell Dr. Doctor, I would love to be one of his students one day. Wow, he speaks to the majority of the Ghanaians. Kudos to him. I'm Nazareth from Tema.
Oh, okay.
I love your name. From Emmanuel in Tamale, please, I want to ask Dr. Zato if opening of a new city apart from Greater Accra was not new to him. Okay. The president talked about plans in place to set up a new city, which wouldn't happen in the 4 years, but down the line, it would happen. Okay. So it's not necessary to bring new policies when the old policies are not being implemented. Coming out always with new policies is what the former president referred to as sloganeering. We need to get what we already have right, then we can move to another. Imagine coming out with a new education for SHS. Niyemu Elliot of La. His Excellency JDM presented a list of promises, knowing very well the capacity, resources, and plans are not available, and you think it is possible. Kama is watching. Okay, what does Kama look like? Somebody is asking you to give us a break. He decided not to understand from explanation. He didn't watch the program. You watched the program, didn't you? You watched it. I hope he doesn't influence his students with this. I don't think so. He gives you positive and negatives. Another photo is coming. Happy birthday to my auntie Rita. Rita Menz. May the good Lord bless you with strength, good health, happiness. Amen. From Jimmy.
Oh.
People are sending photos.
Yeah,
Auntie Rita.
That's a good
very funky, man.
That's a good way to get it. Celebration.
You see a post. Just don't send me quick photos that will put me in trouble. Can the 24-hour economy be legislated, or does it evolve as the economy grows? So lots of questions. Keep them coming in. 055-556. I think the NPP is at its Sergio Ramos best. Good for winning, but bad for business. Sorry, but that's my humble opinion. These footballers, Charlie. This NPP combination is simply a big combo of a lion and a wolf pretending to be vegetarians after they win the elections. People are going into proverb mode now, man. You guys, break it out for me. Okay, I think we're really done. It's 8:37. Just what should we look forward to in the coming weeks from your side?
Yeah, in the coming weeks, we would formally congratulate audit committees and internal auditors on the reduction of irregularities across the public sector.
Okay.
And we would continue to push public institutions to manage resources well. The irregularities identified by the Auditor General would also be resolved because 99.9% of the irregularities are recoverable. So we're going to put in place, working in partnership with the Auditor General, a mechanism to chase people to recover all embezzled funds.
Good.
So that is going to happen in the coming days.
All
But
right.
congratulations to internal auditors and audit committees on the reduction of irregularities across the public sector between 2022 and 2023 by 52 billion cedis.
All righty. Dr. Zato, what's new at your end?
What he's saying gladdens my heart so much. I've published a lot on SOEs. My PhD thesis looked at SOE reforms.
Okay.
Even up to now, I'm still publishing a lot on them. And I've actually have a paper out there that is looking at the Auditor General's rule and even the SIMA. So the point I'm trying to make is that that sector of the economy is so critical. So look at China. One of the things China has done is to use their SOEs. Today, they are the lions running all over the world.
State-owned enterprises.
Yes,
right.
So we can't do that. And the rot in the SOE sector, especially the annual revelations by the Auditor General, are staggering. So if we are beginning to see a decline, that is part of the good governance we're talking about. If you're beginning to see the decline there, if we are beginning to see these SOEs put their house together, look, they can do amazing things. We can have SOEs in Ghana going out to West Africa, bidding for jobs and doing amazing things, and that's how they grow. So for me, it gladdens my heart that for the first time, the SOE sector is putting its house in order.
Okay.
It's for the first time that if they are reducing the debt, if they are trying to reduce the SOE debt that they do, and if for once we have an Auditor General report come out,
Yes.
and then whenever it comes out, it's gloom and doom.
Yeah.
Because it's just one of those. Sometimes you see the things that auditors and financial people are here, and I'm like, have these people ever sat in a classroom to take any financial accounting class? But if they're beginning to cleanse that system, it helps. Because look, the debt they carry is always enough to sink the country. So if they are able to get their acts together, it's very good.
Awesome.
On the political front, the tickets are now complete after the party in Kumasi today. Then we'll go into real campaign mode.
Alrighty.
Economically, Ghana's they said they've announced that they've achieved the agreement with financial Eurobond creditors. They've done it. So it looks like the financial restructuring reform or whatever they're doing, it now looks complete. Let Ghanaians begin to feel the benefits of it.
You need to fill it in our pockets. Thank you so much, the doctors. From me here to you, thank you so much for watching. We have a conversation on fishing, or the absence of it in this month. The close season is with us. We'll give you a report on that. And you stick around, don't go anywhere. This is GTV Breakfast.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Are you looking for the perfect tune to match your vibe? Welcome to Virtual Sound.
the hot seats of where we'll be heading shortly. For this current conversation, we are focusing on fishing. Ghana is currently observing the closed season period for both industrial and artisanal fishing. And the closed season was instituted in 2016, and it was part of a strategy agreed upon with stakeholders to reduce excessive pressure and overexploitation of stocks in the marine sector. It also aims to help replenish the country's declining marine fish stock. And there was initial hesitancies when this policy was introduced, but largely the fisherfolk have adhered to it. So for the next few weeks, that the sea will remain closed to fishing. The livelihoods of these fishermen and the fishmongers are on hold, because for many of them, this is how they make a living. So we'll be talking about some of those things and what government is doing to support them. We'll also be talking about other government interventions in the fishing space to fight illegal practices on our ocean. And at the table to help us delve into that conversation, we have the Deputy Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Mr. Abdulaziz Ayaba Musa. Mr. Musa, thank you for joining us, Honorable. And I know that you have a lot to say, but I'll come to you for your initial thoughts very shortly. For now, my colleague Valerie Danso is at Jamestown, and she'll be bringing us a report from there now on what is happening now that the season is closed. We are told that the fishermen are not at sea, and so all the supporting activities that go on shore to support the fishing activities are also on hold. So lots of mending and lots of mending nets and canoes happening now at Jamestown. Valerie, what can you tell us?
Dogobi. So on July 1, Government implemented the 2024 closed fishing season, and it's been 9 days since the implementation. So we are here at Kolea now. We are going to be engaging a couple of fisher folk to find out what making a means for them now that the sea has been closed, and what they're about and how they get about their normal duties and activities. So we are going to be speaking with a fisherman. His name is Ni Lakote. Ofane, good morning. Ofane, we are GTV no be on a breakfast show. Ofane, tete.
Mi viane no koyana we wayami. Biane wa bangansho watashi. Omojino ni yo, kaje chele watashi wa bakpe ya hu. Kaje ana ka watishin we ngame we bi. Je ne jiskumi. Ya ga beni ya ba fana fo mi angansho. Ko wati wa na lu biane nuchumo. Echake noko ya no chane wo black ni ngbo ne jwe wa match kese feni ni ngbo ine ni jwe mo ni jwe ba si fes ko beni ba fan ka gme chane ke lo e ka gbe sko mi lege ko to kwa nya agbla wo ba gbe 3 days fen agbla chane akalo e sko bi na me ni ba yi si bi anaka wote jwe son ojino ni wona wo bi ana mo jino ni e ba ka yo wo bi ana na nga nso wa wo me fite ni chumo bu kula e ani noko kwa ya no bi ana sheke ya angmeni biano ya dani no baya angmeno dani no baya angmeno skangmene ke wona tiuna na luno ka chelu eno ke lu place ye basikula ke ani skando na ni sanona una na kashika
e wo fine government in kwabia no me no was money government annual me no to work government
au biane ona to be ni inshona nga biane jende gbla mambia mi no biane agbene petrol una ka ya wo she kwa ke ba kula ponu wule mba na ekuni amba ina me ka ba ya wo be na kanu akan yumo si ko le lo e bi ke tamansa na petrol ba ke wani mo fi amon gbugblem wo ka wo president ba yin ba ko na kan bi ya wo e ba yin gota o jiyan una je na bo ko le mi no jinde gba wo chani
o fa wi ma wa fi o fa ke mi ni
gota je na kan bo ko le mi jino ni gba wo chani wo gbla la ke be ni ba fan bien ka gbla Chinese ko mi e ko lo na gbe bi e jidogo e fi ai na ba janaba akeko le na ko le lo fese lo ni yo mi emi ko jeje tameni ba ni na dide ko na nga so ne ko ya fon ya ko mi lo onyo gbla gba obon ti bi an lo jin fen jofu bola son jino ni ko le mi aka acha mi ke je so mi ni ese na acha ko le wona ko ni ya no mo ni jo ele mo bola le mba ko bi ni spon le wi fi obiane e mi won na ga mbasa si samu na sa fen yinku gota jin jino ni igba anu na waka won pa fa ka ba yin na ba nya ji gota jin na bu ala ba feel on the ground an me kole one side ni jo jin ba yan show mi ni pa won agba mo e ba yin wa
So Fisherman Nee is saying that even though they like the implementation of the close season, there's a lot of filth. And then back in the day, where after the close season, fishermen go to sea and come back with a big catch. This time when you come back, it's not a big catch, it's rather full of filth. And you can see behind me and all over here, the whole place is full of filth. So we are going to be going to another fisherman. His name is Nikote is going to be speaking to us as well and tell us what his thoughts are about this close fishing season. Ni ofane
Only I know. We are no where I feel no fiano. In an anga show, Obia school. Where would you or school fees? Nana Aganga show, no, scout, no, we are near Otupo, or no. I don't know what I see. No, Obanesca, or Gagua. Onyeme kuma ama BECE afeli pi ocheka ko tesiye no ba yepo onye wata ya yo wapa ko tesiye wawo oye ni petole mo agaba no ele me fe tani na ni fe agoni aje system me so na nga le wo e gba ona lege ni bo otupo ona oni otashi no we nga bi lebi ka tesiye aba school ego we bi tumote school gaba ba yeni bobo oche yeni mame yeni oyin ko no otunu no ane ba ni oyin lugulugu no na ne fe on papa fa na ni aji emi awo aga si ta bi wa kolu ogasa oni bi ni da month da a week on pay 20 million ni wata si 1 month so e ba wa wala na ska fe be e ba la ga san ko ta ba lo no tumo ne ga ba e ko no tumo no fi awon e fe folo no na ta na je fe akwa wo ko ta si wa wu so bo che ga yin bo mo me eyin be wala no go ba yi
ewo over neba anga insure July 1 aga bagbele 1 month time ewo na kan 1 month over na nye fe mini nye ba fe na kan 1 month
tami sani ko anga po ne ga ba meji beni won kan won tuni won ona lo go fe ne yala ga ngme ne ga ba me lueba. No.
So Nikote is saying that during this time is not favorable because during the rains, these are the time when they get really big, huge catches and they get big fish. So this is not, there might be a close season, but if the close season could be moved to another time, it would favor the fisher folk here.
About the August analo so ni ne ba mi na anga wo lo bilin go da fe so lo so ke ba lo ta mi wada ke wi so ba le ke lo fe e o ke te ko lo ke ta mi na ba gbele wo lo be dun ke an to bilin wo fe se na no mi wo yo lo ne ba mi ji bilin fe se ne ba mi ji wo ni ke to mo yem ko nyumu o afa mo ko lo bilin ba mi ji bilin wo ke pe o le oni bi fe wala ngamba mina yana akwa ngma wo epin wo e gba ona no ke na ngama ke ko ba ti ke alo aje fe na sitemele aga bilin wo o yema fon ele me fe be nshona no on tana akwa wo fi o le bani tumo wo wule ma bi o yin ba do ni ego ni tumo le sa tumo fe sani wa tu agani ntachine ego nyanga bilin tuuni sani ngana mukulu wasama ko ken ko be bala ga besa ga juma ego abayi me ona o so yan se ego so yan se je la sani o fe eje bilin ma efe yan ona
And so the fisher folk here at Kolena are asking, they like the fact that there's a close season, but they would want the close season to be moved to another time, perhaps when, because this is the time, according to the fisher folk, during the rains is when they get a really big catches. And so for this time, they are asking the government to do something about the close fishing season, the timing. And also they are asking that for the 1 month that they've been asked not to go to the sea, if there could be an alternative job for those fisher folk here, they would really, really appreciate it. So this is us. I'm handing over to you, back to the studio T. I'm handing over. This is us at the Bola, no, Kolena people. Handing over to you, T.
Those updates, and well heard from the fisher folk that you spoke to, fishermen at Kolena Beach at Jamestown, speaking to our reporter out there, Valerie Danso. And Honorable Deputy Minister, you heard what the people, as I tried to translate, because of the language, you heard what they said. It appears that even though the initial uproar that greeted the 2016 implementation of the closed season appears to have died down a little bit, in the hearts of the people, that acceptance has not come through. What has been the challenge to overcoming that hurdle? Because every year we hear this, they have the same complaints. Yes. The timing does not work for us. We have children to look after and fees and loans to repay. What has been the challenge in addressing these issues?
Yes, thank you very much, and good morning to your viewers. I think implementing a policy comes with challenges of this sort, but I would like to differ a little bit, talking about the acceptability rate. I think this year the acceptability rate is different. It has gone up, unlike before, like you indicated.
What's the rate now?
I don't have the figures, but it has moved up.
Okay.
Yes, I remember vividly when we were in Western region for the close season ceremony. The associations, the Fisher Folks associations, came out openly and indicated that, I mean, the close season has come to stay. And there are a lot of benefit that the sector has gotten from the exercise. And they think that we should continue. Like before, it wasn't like that. But now we can say on authority that at least it has gone up. Though there are challenges, like they have indicated, and it is expected. Definitely, we have over 3 million people on that chain. So definitely when there is at least stop fishing for a month, we expect that not everybody will be happy, but at least we are moving forward. And this will endure to the benefit of the sector. The close season is instituted purposely to ensure that we sustain our marine subsector so that we have more catch. When you were translating, you indicated that the gentleman was asking for change of the period. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Why does it have to be in July?
Scientifically, it has proven that from July to August, this is a period that the fish, let's speak literally, get pregnant, and they are supposed to give birth. So if you catch them in July, it means that they will not have the opportunity to give birth. It means that you will be catching the pregnant ones as well, and the little ones as well. So it is advisable that we give them that 1 month period so that they can replenish. Then in August, you can go back to fishing again. Mm. Yes.
So which categories of fishes are banned from fishing this month?
Yes, from now we have, it is agreed that there shouldn't be fishing at the
Is it for the small canoes or for the bigger boats?
All of them. No fishing.
No form of fishing activity
yes,
at all?
At all, yes.
Okay.
For a month, just for a month.
Okay.
Yes.
But just for a month is a long time for some. Like we're listening to this gentleman who is saying, it's a month, I have loans that I need to service, and if I'm paying X amount a week and nothing is coming in, then that's a problem.
Yes.
So one of the reasons for the hesitancy and for the acceptance rate perhaps not being where you would expect is because what's the alternative? If you're asking people to stay home, and I've heard that you say, oh, they should take their leave. When I go on leave, I get paid because I've done something to earn that leave. So what's the alternative?
Yeah, there are a lot of alternatives the ministry is implementing. Currently, we have what we call a livelihood empowerment, and we also have livelihood alternative. Yes, I think they started it last year, and some machines, sewing machines, hair dryers, barbering kits, they were trained and they were given these machines to start something. At least if it is not the fisherman, maybe the wife or the children or any of their dependents can go into this business. So that in case...
And a distribution was done?
Yes. And this year, after August, after this close season, we're expecting more to come.
But shouldn't the livelihood be put in place before the close season? So
yes, it is ongoing. It's not something that is an event. It's ongoing.
I'm asking because you said after the event,
yes, more
you are
will come.
expecting more.
Yes, more.
So my suggestion is, if the season is going to be closed in July,
yes,
why not bring these things in January and let me build the, if it's sewing machines, I need to build my client base, perfect my skills.
Like I said,
so that by July,
some have gotten, more are yet to come.
Okay.
Like it's not an event.
Okay.
It's ongoing.
There are many.
So as and when it is ready, then they give it out.
There are many who are staying home, and it's not just the fishermen. So all the support services that go on at the beach, those who help you scale your fish, those who, just even take you to where you will get the kind of fish you want. All those people are home.
Yeah, they are all affected.
And are they all entitled to this livelihood empowerment?
Of course, yes.
But are they getting it?
Most of those of the people in the chain will get this support.
Do you have a database where you keep records of such people? Because how do you know?
There is a data on that.
I want to know what the data says so that we know this. We have 10 people on the list. We've been able to serve maybe 5 of them.
Okay.
5 will get
then
in the
next. I think you will get the data after the program.
Sure.
I don't have the data here.
Sure.
Yes.
Is a close season observed only in Ghana?
No, not really. Not really.
So Nigeria is doing it, Togo is doing it,
as we
Benin
speak
is
now,
doing.
we're having a joint close season with Cote d'Ivoire.
Togo, Benin, and our coastal neighbors, are they all implementing the close season?
We are having a joint close season with Cote d'Ivoire. They also started on the 1st, and we are supposed to end on the same day. As of yesterday, Benin has also started, and they will end on 8th August. So, I mean, the sub-region has come to accept that the close season must go on. That's for the betterment of the sector.
Sometimes when you see fresh fish in this period, you don't expect to see fresh fish.
Yes.
But then someone argued that, they brought it from a nearby country.
Yes.
And that's why I asked the question, is it only in Ghana? Because if
no, it's not only in Ghana.
If it's scientific, the science will apply in all countries.
Yes. And countries are now buying into it.
Okay, so let's welcome our viewers into the conversation.
So it's a joint, close season Ghana is doing with Cote d'Ivoire. And yesterday, Benin also started.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll invite our viewers into the conversation. The Deputy Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Honorable Abdulaziz Ayaba Musa, is our guest. He's answering questions on the 2024 closed fishing season. If you have any for him, send it to our WhatsApp number. Grab your pen quickly, 055 55 61034. 055 55 61034. That's our WhatsApp number. Send your questions to us now. What if somebody decides, I will not adhere to this directive? I think I miss my octopus and my shrimp. My customers miss it. So I will go, or a group decides to go. What's the sanction?
Yes, this whole exercise that we are doing is backed by law. There's an act that was passed by Parliament in 2002, and we have an enforcement unit that takes care of this. We have Ghana Navy, Ghana Air Force, They are in charge of this. And as and when the minister realized that there is a need to add any agency, the law has made a provision for that. So this very unit, as we are speaking, they are in our water bodies monitoring. So if you are caught, there are some charges that you have to pay.
I want to hear what those sanctions are.
Yes, when you look at the local industrial and semi vessels, we're looking at $500,000 to $2 million, respectively.
Is it the industry, the worth of the industry?
No. That's the fines, the penalties.
$500,000.
$500,000, yes.
For the Jamestown fisherman.
No.
Who's caught fishing?
For the Jamestown fisherman, they are subjected to 100 penalty units and not more than 500. Yes, that one the court will do the calculation.
100 penalty, but not more than 500.
Yes, not more than 500.
I think my maths friends should help me translate that into Ghana cedi.
No, you can't do the calculation.
Units,
we'll leave it to the court
500.
to do the calculation.
Okay,
yes.
Just to give people an idea that if you are caught doing this, you will part with X amount of money, so that they are aware.
Yes.
And then if somebody is not able to pay the fine, then is there jail time?
License is revoked. The law must be done to the latest. Yes.
You see, I'm asking all these because the fishermen and the fisher folk, they need to understand what is being done, the monitoring, and then the consequences if they should flout the law.
Yes.
So you've asked fishmongers and stuff to stay at home.
Yeah.
And they are asking why. You say it's scientific.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, these are the sanctions. And the livelihood empowerment programs, if they were available, would we see the men at the beach still? All of them basically said, we are not doing anything. We are just waiting for end of the season so that we can go back to what it is that we do. What's the plan? Is what I keep asking. Do they just keep sitting there?
No, like I indicated, there are other alternative ventures that the ministry is coming out with. Quite apart from this one, we are also doing aquaculture development. There is a program called Abatampa, where districts, most youth in the districts are supposed to be trained on aquaculture development. Quite apart from that, the ministry has also made it clear. Before this year's close season, the minister, that's Honorable Mavis Howard Compson, and the team took it upon ourselves to go to the various regions for sensitization. Initially, they used to do it at the national level, that's in Accra. But this year, we have taken it to a different level, where every fishing site is supposed to send 5 people to the regional. So we were in Sekendi, we came to Cape Coast, then we were in Accra, then in Volta region. So that we were able to meet all these stakeholders to sensitize them on this very thing, and to also let them know if any fisherman wants to go into aquaculture development, the ministry is ever ready to support with whatever it takes. You are just supposed to show
aquaculture
interest.
is fishing that you do outside the sea.
Yes.
So catfish and tilapia and all that.
Lot, yes.
Okay. How does somebody benefit from a program like that? Someone may be watching us is thinking, I think I would want to do that.
Yes, the ministry will give you training. After the training, they give you the tarpaulin or the cage. Then they give you the fingerlings. Then they give you the feed. So that, and they will be monitoring. There are officers at our various districts. They will be monitoring progress.
Do you have to pay for this?
No, you don't have to pay.
So it's a free service?
Yes.
Anyone who's interested can go to, which office do they go to?
They should come to the ministry.
The Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture, and speak to somebody.
Yes.
And they will be giving training.
Yes.
They will be giving the kits they need to start, and then...
So currently across the country, we want people to develop interest in the aquaculture aspect of the ministry.
What's your estimate of how many people do you think you've trained so far who are now into aquaculture?
The ministry has trained a lot, even institutions and prison services. a lot of institutions have been trained on this. Second cycle institutions, some training colleges, and some prison services. And some of them.
I want to visit one of those
activities
facilities.
ongoing.
Because it's something I would love to see. If Temasco has a fish rearing place, I would want to see it. I think it would be exciting. And it brings farming home for young people, so that when they leave school, they could actually venture into some of these things, because they would have picked up the skills that they need.
So currently, across the country, every district is supposed to provide 50 youth who will be trained on these things. But quite apart from that, there are other activities that are ongoing. Yes, just to ensure that quite apart from the marine side, then we also try to see how we can develop the aquaculture aspect of it, because we have realized that we have a huge potential in that aspect. So if it is well developed, I mean, all these complaints we had may go down. We cannot eliminate it completely, but it will go down.
Just for clarity, when we say that the fishing season is closed, it's just for sea, right?
Yes.
Does it apply to rivers, lakes, and ponds and all those other places?
We're just looking at the coastal
So
areas.
fishing on the Volta Lake, for example, is still allowed. It's still permitted. But if you're on the sea, you can't do that. Let's talk about impact. We've been doing this now for 8 years. Are we seeing the results?
Yes. We are seeing the results scientifically. Like the gentleman, you know, he is speaking out of what he's feeling. But scientifically, there has been a lot of improvement. If you look at the production from where we were and where we are now.
What are the figures? I want you to share some of the figures.
I don't have figures here, but there is a lot of improvement.
The man said when they are not allowed to fish, by the time the season is open, all the fish would have gone away.
Oh, no. He's not speaking scientifically.
It's
like
not
I said,
scientific.
he's speaking out of emotions. So let's pardon him for that. Yes.
So the education still, a lot more education needs to be done.
Yes.
Because it appears that as much as...
Very important.
So what's the support? You see, at this time, when people are talking about bread and butter issues, you're talking about skills that have been provided and stuff that government has done. Is there a plan to distribute items, some food items, whether it's in the form of grains or cereals? Is there any such plan underway?
Yes, I think we finished the distribution 3 days ago. Yes, we have been through all the regions.
Distribution, what have you been distributing?
Food items.
Okay.
Yes, we're talking of rice, oil, tin tomatoes, tin fish.
Have you come to Jamestown?
Yes, we've been through all the...
Hey, so Abi and Co, they've given you rice and you didn't tell me.
So the ministry is doing a lot. I mean, we cannot just sit and watch them. So we're trying to meet them halfway, so that whilst they are home, at least there will be something to feed. Though, I mean, it may not be that enough to take care of all their needs when it comes to meals, but the ministry is empathizing with them.
Is it just because none of the farmers, so fishermen are also some kind of type of farmers, none of the fishermen mentioned receiving any food items when Valerie visited the beach?
I don't know. Maybe if she had asked that question, they would have given her the answer. But no, we are not only support, even the processors. Yes, we support them, we give them the rice, we give them basins, wire mesh and those things.
Right.
Yes.
I'll go and take some messages on our screen, and if there are some questions, I'll encourage you to note them down.
Yes.
And then when we do return to the table, you'll have the opportunity to respond to some of them. Let's see what people who are watching us are saying and what they want to know. Our WhatsApp number 055 55 61034 055 55 61034. And these are the thoughts of those who are sending them to us and not our own thoughts. First one, hello, good morning. I'm surprised the Deputy Minister is talking without backing of data, but giving assurances, we need data in backing this and is this found on your website? So is some of this information, the data we are talking about, the numbers?
Yes.
Can we find some of them on your website? Okay. Another question. Why is it that after the season they still can't catch much fish, and rather they are catching filth? There is no plan, is what this texter is saying. So let's try and keep it temperate so that Honorable can answer a legitimate question. So one of the issues that came up is that there's a lot of rubbish that's ending up in the sea, and the fishermen end up catching more trash than fish. And so they're asking for a lot more to be done to prevent the spillover, to stop or slow it down or to eliminate it completely of the rubbish from land into the sea.
Into the sea, yes. And he was talking about the dredging that they are doing.
Yeah.
Yes. So I have noted it. We'll discuss it with the sanitation and the transport minister. Then we'll see the way forward.
Okay. So, good morning to you and your cherished viewers. Kindly ask the Honourable Minister, where, how, and when did the ministry distribute sewing machines and other materials he mentioned to our dear fisherfolk? Because so far as I'm concerned, they are sitting at home with no source of livelihood after the ban. Adams are two bigger centers this from Madina. Say, when did you distribute these ministries?
Know because he's not into it. But those who have benefited, they know that they have received some of these things. And like I said, more are yet to come.
Henry thinks that we are equating people's life and well-being to science. Why is the Deputy Minister relating people's life and well-being to science? Well, what we talked about, we said the scientific data showed something. So someone thinks you are relating personal experiences, personal life stuff, and putting it on science. So, my fishermen in a fishing environment at Axim are facing what the Accra people are facing. There is no plan. They implement it and there is no plan. Why should the man speaking come from where there is no sea to be? I don't understand the last one, but this one says there is no plan and you just implement it, and that his fishermen in Axim are also going through the same difficulties that the Accra people are going through. Hi, the alternative livelihood program that I think should be rolled out is to engage the fishermen to clean the beaches during the closed fishing season. This can be achieved by asking Zoomline to take care of them every closed season. So this is a suggestion that is coming on, and you may take that up with the people.
That's a good one.
And this is a concern that we've seen a lot of as well. Please, I want to ask, the way Chinese people treat Ghanaians, something on board is not good. What are they doing about it? We come home on the 1st of July. Up until now, they have not paid us. So somebody is talking about Chinese business people perhaps not paying salaries. But because they've mentioned Chinese, we know that a lot of illegal stuff happening on our water bodies, especially on the sea, because they were talking about a closed fishing season. What are the efforts to stop foreign fishing travelers?
Yes, it has become the thing of the past. I think the ministry has been able to resolve that challenge.
Okay.
Yes.
Ernest from Lashibi Community 20 says the closed season is not pleasant for fisher folks, but listening to this humble minister, I get to understand the need for that exercise. So far as it is not a punishment, but rather a sustainable measure, we embrace it in good faith. The deputy minister is really a humble person, and that's the thoughts from Ernest in Lashibi. Good morning. Please, do they really gain income, is what someone is asking. Talking about the fisher folks. So it's the closed fishing season. So many more messages are coming through. Good morning. Forgive from Kokorite. Please, won't there be inflation on canned foods like sardine since fishing is banned? So the alternative sources of fish, someone is thinking that it will put an extra cost on the charge. So is fish more expensive at the cold stores that you visit because it's a closed season? Let us know. 055-55-61034. Are you finding that fish is slightly more pricey because of the season? Let us know what you think. Good morning. My favorite breakfast. Desire Kofi from La Côte d'Ivoire. Enchante Kofi, thank you for watching us. Trisha, welcome back to our screen. If Val is still at the seashore, you can find out from the fisher folks. I think we will ask Valerie to find out from them if they've received some of the food packages that the Honourable Deputy Minister talked about. Good morning. For your good work you're doing, I'm having a problem saying that they've given the fishermen sewing machines. I just want to understand something. They are not fashion designers, so how do we expect them to use the sewing machine to make a living?
It's an alternative livelihood support.
So you get an extra
skill. Like I said, it may not be you, the fisherman, your wife or your child, or anybody who is dependent on you.
Okay. Someone is asking if you've been to Axim or Hafasene or any of those places with this measures that you're talking about.
Yes.
You've been there?
Yes.
Okay. Hello now. It's a pity we are talking about fishing in closed season with people who don't understand fishing. Minister and her deputy, how can a fisherman benefit from LEAP? Fishing is part of the Gahomo, and if the sea closed during Homo, it means we can't hoot at hunger because we don't have fish. Niyemo Elliott sent this from La. So La is also a coastal community. They are Accra neighbors. And the idea is the link to the traditional festivals, the Homowo, and the fact that if we are not fishing, then I know the La Homowo is coming up this month of July. So if there's no fishing, the idea is they will not get access to the fish that they want. But these are concerns that have been reiterated over time.
Very important.
So what steps have been taken, and how are those steps being firmed up to address some of the challenges with the traditional authorities and those who feel that a part of their culture is being taken away because of an implementation of a policy?
I think the minister has an open door policy.
Okay.
When it comes to the traditional leaders, the festivals, and the close season. So the chiefs, they know the kind of arrangement they have with the ministries. So that at least if they need a day or two, they write officially, and it is granted, and they do whatever they want to do.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's a special dispensation. Here's Razak from Ablikumaolebo. I understand one of the main motives behind the closure of the sea to the fishermen is because of stock replenishment. And I want to ask the Deputy Minister, but are there any alternative conservation measures that could be implemented instead of the complete closure? I think the Minister has alluded to that in his previous response. Grateful to hear from our tireless MP for Myong, especially on the fishing aspect. Round 2 is possible for you, is what this message is saying from Latif at Sagnarigu Kukuo. So, Honorable, this one is for you. A suggestion. I suggest MOF comes out with an action plan to feed the fishers during the closed fishing season. Meanwhile, I want to find out the relief package for the farmers who sometimes have to wait for several months before harvest. And this is a question for you. Perhaps when we can, do you have an answer for him now? Yeah. He's saying that he wants there to be a plan to feed the fishermen during the closed season. So you said there's been distribution of food.
Yes, yes.
But that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Meanwhile, the farmers too, when they're waiting for harvest, should they also?
Exactly. So if you look at what the ministry is doing for the fisher folks, I mean, it is a novelty. It is unique. Even in the sub-region, not every country is doing this. The countries that I said they are also doing closed seasons, they are not able to meet their fisher folks at that half space, no. But we empathize a lot with our people.
Al-Haji is asking a question. What can we do to have more fish? Very good in numbers and more for all. And this is a great question because along the London beaches, conversations around mass storage facilities have been ongoing for a long while.
Yes.
Is the ministry engaged in, at any level of completion, talks or conversations around building the silos and stockpiling so that in lean season, in closed season, we will have access?
Yes, yes, we are on it.
You are on it?
Yes, yes.
Al-Haji, that's the answer from the Deputy Minister. Is it true that the closed season is to pave way for the Chinese company ships to come and produce their sardines?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's your answer? No. The Minister says it is no.
It is not.
Good morning, Honorable. Togo is not doing the closed season. My uncles are in Togo and they are going fishing.
Yes, that's Togo. They will join soon.
Okay.
Yes, they will.
Because when I see people Togo, with fresh fish, and
they are even likely to have closed season twice a year. That's the proposal. They are still discussing those matters in Togo. So very soon, they will be with us.
I think the messages are just overwhelming.
Yes.
So I'll give you a little break to watch what we are going to put on our screen now. Yes. Our correspondent in Tema, Michael Dewonu, visited the beach, and he spoke to some key actors in the fishing sector there. Yes. And this is what they had to say. Michael Dewonu, our correspondent in Tema, sent us this one.
Okay.
But today we are here and activities has been very, very slow. All because from the 1st of July, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture has begun the close season. We are here to find out from the women how this close season is affecting their business and where exactly they've been getting their fish for sale. And the prices of fish, how is this close season really going to affect prices? Let's have a conversation with these fish sellers here at the Tema Fishing Harbour.
Now, more couple nankasa de omuna ye break on, but catching fish for the we are still operating. But a man ama boyed. You call omu de namne bana ukota. Ne was a demand of 4.4 million and at 3.5. Ne say 4.2. I hear about kofa would be begu out beton. But I acquire Juman to Jaya and ye into ye guswaye. Into ye stress as a bibu on met me and I be boying. Or monche no money my. Zoka say ya tu pumuntu nkofana mo ntoma o customers no mbeden ye baby epuna enam bo no ebia na ba forma omu ino mbeko na fe de bia no wo class 1
me ba cho ye tu puna ye tu msena ne ma akon ensheda nko ye papa vise place na mo de bread 400 mo de bread price aye be ye so be to so a untimi fan to so ndu ayi bi oda to so 5 cedis 10 cedis kwado to so panipa no on top. Man, I'm so many markets. I'm so more complete. I want so boy did the piano. A man market and a year Juma ye. Senye Juma ye ya and Kayabe Jaye. By ye Juma and one a Jayeswa. Ye a church and you will see. And one was some make.
First near to logo fish near ton 1.5. Any 1.2. A well boat. Tamako fado mbasono. Na ya to logo 1.5 and 1.2 e wo boat bia ne said you must ton one but akofa ado banana akofa ado bay logo nya she said to logo 4 million e be fi inside ne baba ne ton 4 million na nyamba na so asan dia share storage asan di bia to so atom nti nyame animu ni anope logo me ne na me yi to asan dia akodem omo ntimi nto omo se angwa no so no bo ayedin tama na no bo ayedin sisi Sine nam 9.5 and a CC nam 8 million. Adana Z ayeto wahano Z ayeto Z 6.5 and so Z need na homa CO. First na yeto Z no na yeto Z kwa na yeto na Z na yeto no
1 point something and do first sana mo bi ni Z na bi W no
18 so 1.7 si Z na nam 6.5 nti nam na di ashiri pa kwosro ti say ye besra ni na do no mbehwe yan
business ne de ensheda nkoso sa because nam ne boa ye di nam no sura send we koto nam 4 million the next 1 hour be kono na amasa tuma ko 4-5 just say every hours every minute they are increasing the fish nti ama business ne nkoso.
Okay, so on a normal day when you come here at the Tema Fishing Harbour, it is bustling with lots of activities, but today we are here and
Michael Dewonu sent us that report from the Tema Fishing Harbour. Honorable, this time the language was not too much of a barrier.
Yes.
So you could hear the sentiments of the people.
Yes.
What's your response?
Yes, I think what is very key in their sentiment has to do with the price of the fish over there due to increase in demand without supply. Yes, and somebody referring to the dollar rate and stuff. What I will say on that one is that the Ministry of Finance is on a crusade to ensure that the economy becomes stable. Yes, so if you listen to them recently, they are saying that we shouldn't be rushing for the dollar. There's enough exchange rate, enough exchange in foreign exchange in our stock, in our banks, and they are putting in a lot of measures to ensure the dollar rate comes down so that prices, things that are imported, the prices will go down.
Again, none of them talked about receiving some of the items that you've talked about, whether it's the sewing machines
my dear,
or the rice.
I mean, you don't expect that people will voluntarily
admit that they
yes, people will voluntarily just give us that information. Like I said, we're meeting them halfway, but we have distributed those items across the country, and we are not saying that those items will be able to sustain them till the end of the season. No, that is not what we are saying. But as a listening government, we must empathize with them. We must see how we can meet them halfway. That is our concern.
Meeting them halfway. So a lot more messages are popping up on our screen. I'll be reading few more of your thoughts. 055-55-61034. Here's a question. It says, Madam Thelma, kindly ask him if he's aware of light fishing, which has rather depleted the sea. Exactly. What are they doing to curb that? Yes. Nikoche sent us this from Teshi.
Yes,
light fishing.
This is a serious matter, and in all our...
Explain light fishing to us for the benefit of somebody who may not understand.
Yes, in all our engagement with the fisher force, we have made it clear that this particular light fishing is a detriment to the fishing sector. If you look at it, so we have instituted control.
I just want us to situate what light fishing is. When you say light fishing, what do we mean?
Yes, this is I can't really give you the full details of what light fishing is.
Is it they are using lights to fish?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
So the temperature in the water bodies is very high, and that has the potential of killing the fish or the fingerlings in there. So there is a control and surveillance monitoring unit that is checking on all these things, but it is going down, not as before. Those risks are going down.
Okay.
Yes.
My little understanding of light fishing is the fishermen introduce light into the water, yes, and as the fish is attracted to the light, they catch them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it has the potential of, damaging whatever we have resources in the marine.
That is your answer. Fish imports to Ghana. Can the minister help with some good news from his ministry to the public for the fish importers?
Importation of fish.
Is that increasing? Is that decreasing? Are we now, catching more of our own fish than against
catching more?
The figures against the figures that we are importing?
Now our locally, our fisher folks are able to produce more than before. Yes.
Okay, so there's some photos that we'll be sharing that will make you very happy, because the distribution of some of the items, we have some photos, so I'm sure you'll be very happy to see them.
Oh, not really.
Good morning, Mr. Aziz. Tell Mr. Aziz that if he's not facing facts, he shouldn't talk about improvement in the fishing industry. So people are coming out for you now. If you use nice language, we'll read the messages to him, and Honorable will answer your questions politely. What did he use to determine? Okay, he's talking about the improvements in the fishing industry. He should give us figures than to sit on national TV and be lying. Pascal, how do you know Honorable is lying?
Can you imagine?
But he said he should give us figures.
He is doing politics.
I need Taylor seriously. The man says maybe your outfit is nice. Latif is back with some more comments for you. Someone says the president should bring vessels, I think, so that Ghanaians will work in them on the open sea.
Okay.
All right. The issue with the closed season is with the timing, because according to the fishermen, the July weather is good for a good catch. The minister should be specific with the details as to the steps taken to keep the fishermen occupied till the opening of the season, instead of him repeating that there are options. And for how long can you be feeding them? They have kids' fees to pay as well. So the July weather is good for catching big fish.
And the July period is what I also said.
But the fishermen also said the same thing.
Yes. Yes. So the July period is when the fish are pregnant. So how do you catch them? If you catch them today, what happens tomorrow?
He said, you don't understand the feelings of the fishermen. So please try and give the fisher folks a good assistance during the close season. Things are really hard. My father is a fisherman. Good morning, B. Thank you for sending us that message. So some help has been offered, and we'll put them on the screens for your attention now. So, Honorable Minister, what are we seeing here?
This was in the Keta.
Okay,
yes.
What's happening?
Yes, we were distributing the items to the people. Yes.
Keta?
Yes.
Who actually received these items?
The chief fisherman and his people.
Okay.
Yes.
So the expectation is that when the chief fisherman receives the package,
the people will be there.
He calls.
The people will be there. Then we hand over to them.
Some distribution processes are followed,
yes,
and then that is done.
Whatever they are supposed to do.
Okay. So these visuals you're saying are from Keta.
Yes.
So something has gone out to the fishermen to tide them over in this month.
And since you are showing pictures from Volta region, I would like to commend them.
Okay.
I have been to their landing sites or their beaches. I mean, they are doing fantastic well. If you go and see the environment, it's very tidy, very clean, very neat. So I'm using the opportunity to appeal to others. They should emulate from them. It's very important.
Right. More messages on our screens, 055-556-1034. Good morning. I hope the closest season is not well. At least some of the fishermen are hungry now, so we should stop the close season. Because of the cold store, that's why they close the season. So this man is suggesting that you close the season for fishing so that cold stores can make money.
Oh.
Is that the reason?
You know, my dear, like I said, implementing a policy is not something that would not come with challenges or perceptions and those things. So those things are expected, but that is not the case. That is not the case.
Someone's asking who will cater for them if you close the season for a month. So Minister says livelihood empowerment and other stuff. I can confirm the ministry has delivered foodstuff like rice, oil, etc. to the fisherfolk of my community, Ningo and Huam. However, it's 5% of the total number of fishermen in the community. As for sewing machines, a big lie. So they're saying yes, food, something has come in the way of food, but they have not seen the sewing machine. Roberts from Ahuam.
We have not distributed the sewing machines just this season. We have distributed those food items, but those machines I referred to were distributed in the past, and more are coming. So my brother should get it right.
Good morning, Dr. Thelma. No, not doctor. Just Thelma. Just Thelma is fine. And the invited girl. Perhaps it's a prophecy, eh? Okay, cool. I'll take it. Trust you're doing great. I mean, why are we not introducing this fishery course in our schools' curricula? Yeah. Ghana is lagging behind. Mina Hunter Francobat sent us this from New Edubiase. At least in every senior high school, there must be fish ponds to harness this course. So, my suggestion to you, perhaps, Honorable, can we introduce some of these things? We used to have gardens in school. Yes. We used to have school farms. Yes. So as part of the school farm system, can we introduce fishing?
Yes, I have mentioned it. The ministry has engaged a lot of second cycle institutions, and they are now doing catfish. Yes, a lot of them, a lot of the schools.
Okay.
Including prisons.
More messages. Keep up the good work is what this texter is saying. If you are compensating fishermen with sewing machines, what correlation lies between fishermen and sewing? Michael Interi, these fishermen should be compensated financially to sustain them during this season. So financially means give them money.
My dear, we're talking of alternative livelihood. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. It has to be something that can money sustain them? If the gentleman is listening to me, can money be able to sustain them? Can Ghana be able to distribute money to every fisherman so that he will be okay? And if we do that, what happens to the next generation?
Someone says it's like asking someone not to get rain during the rainy season. So it's raining. I said maybe don't go out, don't get wet, but you're outside in the rain. I'm not sure if I can verify this, so I won't go there. People are talking about the sea, what of our rivers, especially Mankago Yeji River. So the ban, the close season does not apply on the rivers and other water bodies. Only the sea. No fishing at all on the sea. More, and I'm sure that if we don't wrap up, we'll have so many more messages coming in, but we'll try and fix this all up. But we can't rise without talking about premixed fuel, a major issue that keeps coming up. Access to premixed fuel, the fisher folk mentioned it. What's the update?
Yeah, the premixed fuel used to be a challenge, and the ministry is rolling up an automation system. The phase 1 is completed. That's to be talking about 50 London size, 53 are ongoing, then 97 is also coming up. So the ministry has implemented a policy to ensure that we automate our premix centers so that there won't be diversion, there won't be fraud, and there will be trust in the system. Because each canoe is supposed to be registered. We call it identification number. It's given an identification number. Then they are supposed to have a card so that when there is fuel at the automation center, then they can go and draw so that they can go and continue. A lot of, if you go to Tongu currently, their automation system is working. The last time we received a report, it was indicated that in the past, when they distribute premixed fuel at that center, it takes like 3 hours and it will get finished. But now, it can take like 3 weeks because of the automation system. People will not have the opportunity to divert. It goes straight to the people, and the people make good use of it.
Right.
Yes.
We'll rise from here, but this afternoon, all our cameras will be in Kumasi for the official outdooring of the Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as running mate for His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. And I'm sure that Honorable will want a few seconds to comment on this.
Yeah.
Are you going to Kumasi?
Yes, of course. After this.
Are you going with the key that you used to close the sea?
I'm keeping it at the ministry now.
Who has the key?
Yeah, it's with the ministry, the minister.
So you're going to Kumasi?
Yes, of course. I'll have to join them. You know, it's a big day. We have made the perfect selection to partner with the current vice president, who is our flag bearer. So, I mean, we will be there, and I know by now Kumasi, the blue is all over Kumasi, and we are certain that Kumasi and the other regions will deliver, so that in 2024 we continue with good governance that we enjoy.
You represent the good people of Mio.
Yes.
A word for them as well?
Yes, I will just say good morning to my people and thank them for giving me the opportunity to serve them.
The Honorable Abdulaziz Ayaba Musa is the Deputy Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, MP for the good people of Myong. This morning he's been talking to us about the closed fishing season, why it was instituted, and the steps government is taking to ensure that the fisher folk are supported during the period of the closed season. The expectation is that it will be adhered to, and come the end of the month, the ban will be lifted, and every one of us can get back to our old ways of enjoying fresh fish and our shrimps and all the stuff that we love from this. Honorable, thank you so much for sitting with us and for taking our viewers' concerns and suggestions back to feed into policy. Yes. That will be conversations for policy that will be implemented going forward. Yes. We appreciate your company with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We will take a break. When we return, the show continues. It's Breakfast live on GTV. We'll be back.
Studio One. This is the Breakfast Show.
Relax, Monya Botro, be a Benjamin.
Hey, Bra, me say, care plus I'm a better sweet, and one I'm in me fear for you so. And I'm Santi Mom, will be any me fear.
Me banaka care plus in here. Me san come da how.
Na me examine Bra.
Kumasi. So BFS Accra, we are bowing out now, and we'll hand over to BFS in Kumasi to give us more sights and sounds ahead of the unveiling. Darryl, what can you tell us? I see the streets already getting busy.
Hi, good morning once again, Thelma, and thank you very much for coming to us here at the Jubilee Park in Kumasi, where today, this afternoon, the NPP New Patriotic Party will be officially or formally outdooring their flag bearers running mate, who will be in the person of Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, also affectionately called Napo, who the whole of Asante Mai is routing for to succeed in the endeavor of leading Ghana come 2025, when hopefully the New Patriotic Party will once again be given the nod to lead in the governance affairs of Mother Ghana. We arrived here a little earlier, and behold, very good speed at ensuring that every meticulously planned program is rolled out in a manner in which it was actually drafted or sketched. And so if you see behind me, the main days where all the speeches and all the support will be carried from is currently set for work. And looking up there, I see a few of the party people. I see Henry Nanabuachi, who is the organizer, walking towards me. I'll try and see if I could crash his gate and see if he would want to say a word or two. Good morning, Honorable. Okay, he's a bit busy now, so he won't be able to speak to us. But yeah, that's Henry Nanabuachi, the national organizer of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, on whose shoulders I look forward, or I expect that every weight for this gathering will be. There's also a few of the party faithfuls who are slowly but surely gathering, and I will try and get a few of them to speak to, that is, if they will, and not as busy as Henry Nanabuachi Nanabi is this morning. Indeed, the whole place is getting a bit heated up, and it seems everybody else and everyone else here is warming up, ready. And I've seen a few, I must also say, that cannot be escaped. I've seen a few macho men around who, we're told are here to ensure sanity. How that will be guaranteed, even though we have the police as well as other uniformed officers, as well as on plainclothes officers, I very much don't have any answers to what role they will play in ensuring sanity of the event. But yeah, this is what we are faced with. Ghanaian politics these days has come to stay with the presence of macho men and ensuring sanity. Every other party official you have heard of, and where my ears on the ground have also picked information that His Excellency former President John Ejekum Kufuor is also expected to be in attendance. All other party executive will be on the ground to ensure that the outdooring of Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the MP who is exited Menchia South, making way for another by-election to elect a parliamentary candidate to represent the good people of Menchia South, will take place. Indeed, every other arrangement is in place. Party faithfuls are arriving in their numbers. Those coming from well outside of the Ashanti region have already, I've seen some arriving in buses within and also immediately outside of the perimeter of the Jubilee Park. And yes, that is so far the situation here as we'll have it. And so you can hear sound test also going on, in which case it'll be slightly deafening for us to go any closer. And so I'll be as far as I can away from the sound test. But yes, so far so good. Every preparation is in place to welcome party officials this morning. We will be receiving His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We'll also be receiving His Excellency the Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, as well as his most recently nominated running mate for the 2024 December general elections, his Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempeh, who will be formally outdoored today and will hold the shoulders of His Excellency Bawumia to march from the Jubilee House, possibly in expectation to arriving at the Jubilee House once again from the Jubilee Park, in hope that they will arrive once again at the Jubilee House. This will be events that would dominate today's headlines as well as tomorrow's headlines, if you may. Whatever happens here will surely will bring to you our viewers across the country. You're watching GTV Breakfast, but stay with us. We'll bring you the rest of the event or the news that comes from this event, the formal and official outdooring of the flag bearers running mate in the person of Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, who we're expecting to at the minute be relaxed. And we saw a photograph of him yesterday bearing an anointing oil in a pensive prayer mood. I'm sure that prayer is still ongoing this morning as party faithfuls get themselves together to bring his formal outdooring out this afternoon. So in attendance also are lots and lots of media houses. I've seen both local media houses as well as national media houses all present, all setting up to bring today's event nationwide to viewers and listeners across the length and breadth of this country. And GTV will be sure to bring our viewers all around the country today's event from start to finish. It'll be one of the momentous events leading up to the December 7 polls. I'm on the ground and I'll be sure to bring you all the news and views from party faithfuls as well as officials who will be gathering here. My name, as always, is Darrell Allen Tego. Stick and stay with me as I bring you all the news, the views, and perspectives just as they drop. Thank you very much for staying with us. Oh, no. Now call Ghana, gateway to Africa, gateway to the world. My dear.